everyone, and a beautiful Friday afternoon, early evening to you here from the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott, and I'm joined by Keith Each Every Stride. Keith, we're going to navigate the way through the 2024 Breeders' Cup World Championships. It's an honor to be with you here, sir, for this special occasion. Different programming here at Sports Money Network, but nonetheless, you tried to get me on the air early. I just watched a great California juvenile race, but I said, hey, Keith, I'm not coming on unless we got a purse of $1 million or more, and we've got 5 of them lined up here today on the first day of action from my home track, beautiful Delmar, out in San Diego, Southern California. And of course, this is Future Star Friday. We'll find out who the best stars are, Keith, for next year's crop, if you will. It's funny because as we roll into the first race, of course, here, the Juvenile Turf Sprint, I was reminded watching that last race, Keith, of the California, those horses have more experience than these. But really, right, the Breeders' Cup itself, that is the key words for any of our novice people joining us here. The Breeders' Cup, what you see is horse racing royalty over the next 2 days, Keith, and you and I are going to be here to describe it.
I'm so excited, Ramon. I appreciate, you helping putting this together here on the Sports Money Network. I'm thrilled to bring horse racing content to the Sports Money Network. So thank you for everybody, putting this together. Yeah, it's an amazing weekend of betting. I mean, this is a horse player's dream right here, with these pools and everything. So this is the first official Breeders' Cup race. So this is the one, I tried to get Ramon to come on for an allowance, a grade 3 before, but we got to start it here with the Breeders' Cup. I've done a lot of research. We've got 42 foreign horses. So I looked at every single horse. You got horses from Japan, Ireland, Britain. Whew, you got to put in the work, but if you get it, you're going to get rewarded. So let's cash some tickets today.
And if anyone has any comments in the chat, we already got a couple of dozen of you watching, Keith. We're just nearly 10 minutes away from post time from our first race. We'll get right into it. But if you have any comments, we're going to take it from 2 perspectives here with Keith, an experienced horse handicapper and observant of the game. And we also can cover it, Keith, from a perspective of newbies. We might have some people here who aren't familiar. I mean, one of the most basic things here that I mentioned on my show this morning was that, you're going to have people who are unfamiliar with even parimutuel betting. And you mentioned the pools, man. Even maybe we should have been on the air for some of those early races. Those pools were beautiful here leading up to this first race. Keith, the $1 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. 5 furlongs at Delmar. That sounds like a thrill right there on this turf course with that tight turns here. Like I said, my home course. But, this is where the Breeders' Cup comes into it, right? I mean, you have the breeding, and this is how these races kind of evolve. I think one thing you're going to see different from me and Keith here, from what I've seen from his picks, I didn't have time to send you mine, Keith, but nonetheless, I'm about royalty a little bit. I think that's what the Breeders' Cup is all about, and there's a reason why those same names appear in the winner's circle almost every time. We might go through a Triple Crown season or even some great stakes races where you can have Cinderella. We do have a Cinderella in this Breeders' Cup, but not what right. I mean. You're not going to bring someone with some of those backstories. All these horses, man, are like, walking money machines here. And that's what sets this.
So much behind them. Yeah. Yeah, Ramon. I mean, great points right there. I would just say, with this race, we're 9 minutes to post. So this is where it really gets serious. I mean, you got the $1 million, race here for the Juvenile Turf Sprint. Only 2 scratches in this field. So you still have a large field here. This is what horse players love. Large fields, big pools. Is you're going to get paid, even if you're wrong, right? Even if you're wrong on some of the races, if you nail 1 or 2 of these, I think you're still going to get ahead on the day and onwards.
You couldn't put it any better, because the one thing about these pools is if you like playing favorites and you're out there on a Tuesday with Razor and the guys at Mahoning or something, and you're, trying to figure out how to beat a 2-5 favorite, you're going to find favorites here, Keith, in the 7-2, 4-1 range in some of these races. Here we're dealing with a little bit of chalk here in the first race. We're going through the post parade here right now, and we're seeing this favorite here, Ikoro Sig, coming in. Keith, I'll just say it. We're waiting for Japan to really make a splash in the
I
Breeders'
think
Cup.
this could be the day, Ramon. Yeah.
About Ikoro Sig. I did notice this. And we'll get right into it, Keith. You didn't have my pick, Big Mojo, in there. Of course, I'm sticking to
that's the one I'm worried about. That's the horse. Yeah. You got to go against. Sometimes you have to make decisions. But yeah, I mean, Mojo's one of the Appleby horses that's been very consistent, and he brings the whole thing. Yeah, I'm trying not to include them all. I think the horse could get a good trip, but yeah, I'll go over my picks a little bit here. I know we got 7 minutes. Yeah, they have the post parade right now.
Yeah, we do have the post parade here coming through, and taking a look at these out on bail. Let me start off with Asterius here, the 2 at 7-1 coming out of the Doncaster. Flying Soldiers, the grade 2, right? Coming in here in this one. My horse that I like here, Big Mojo. You mentioned it, Keith, the same connections as last year's winner of this race, Big Eves, who we'll see here at the Breeders' Cup again. But I just thought with the Appleby and Marquand combination, and they're on top of their game right now. I also looked at number 5 here, Arizona Blaze.
Yeah, I included this horse, Ramon. Yeah, I just thought, for this horse here, I mean, this was an interesting price horse for me. He's been racing in a lot of competitive races. And, I just think that 28-1 you're getting right now. But yeah, I'll go over this horse here. I know we got, 6 minutes to post.
Yeah, for sure. The thing I liked about Arizona Blaze was that race that I saw, the Railway Stakes with Henry Matisse there. But again, I think that was an impressive third-place finish. Arizona Blaze was doing a great job in that race, and certainly caught my attention. Also catching my attention in this field was Whistle Jacket here. Keith, with O'Brien and Moore, you always got to look. Now I know it's a sprint, so maybe that may be the disqualifier for some people who want to ride with the great combination here. But got second in the Middle Park at Newmarket. So I think for me, I'm looking Mojo, I'm looking White Jacket, and probably Arizona Blaze here right now for me.
Yeah, we agree on a lot of the same horses here. Now, I do like this Whistle Jacket horse quite a bit. I mean, this is actually one of the European runners that actually can get out of the gate consistently. You've seen it a lot. The European runners are a little slow getting out of the gate, but this horse, I watched some replays, showed some speed for Aidan O'Brien. I think O'Brien's, they call him Aiden's Army, right? So I think that's actually a very strong army this year. And I think Japan's going to be strong. I think it's going to be Ireland and Japan a lot today and tomorrow. I mean, for this horse, you have Ryan Moore gets on. I mentioned this is the horse that's faced Shadow of Light. So you've seen this name with a couple other horses. Shadow of Light is a class horse there who won the Darley Dewburst. And, for me, I mean, this horse hasn't really done much wrong in his career, Whistle Jacket. I mean, he, breaks well. So that's the thing. I mean, you got to break with speed in these kind of sprints, and that's it. It's all about the break, and the training and the breeding looks great. So we've seen it a lot more too with these other countries. They're trying to breed now for real speed and sprinting speed. I'll get into that with Japan. They're actually purchasing a lot of mares right now, even over in the States with us.
Well, one of the things they say about Delmar is that front speed, and sometimes when you're in the elite races, the front speed is a little bit more. We've definitely been through. I've sat through some Delmar turf races late, but I don't think in the class that you see here. I think the front end speed is pretty important here at Delmar. Just really, strange the 5 furlong sprint though. Here it's going to be thrilling for sure. So I think I might have skipped over. I don't know if you had anything on Magnum Force, the Irish bred there, Keith. 21, a little bit better price than Arizona Blaze, but I think if I had to target a big number here, it would be with Blaze, with Arizona Blaze, especially with Rispoli here. I
Right.
think the experience here a little
Yeah,
bit.
these horses come out of the same race, Ramon. So, I mean, if you want to use that race as a stepping stone, that could be key. I mean, all these horses kind of, traded punches. Yeah, Magnum Force, I mean, has a little bit of a look there. I mean, I actually like the horse that won that race. That's number 2, Asterius. I think this horse could get a great trip. Now, 7-1. Wow. I mean, this horse got a time form speed figure of 99. I saw. So the number 2, I think, is live, 7-1. So for me here in race 6, I know we're getting pretty close. I'm 4 deep. I'm actually going to do a lot of exacta and try boxes. So that's going to be my go-to. Maybe a couple pick 3, pick 4s. Nothing too huge today. I think tomorrow's the big day where you could actually go huge with the horizontals. But I'm 2, 5, 7, 8 here in race 6 in the sprint.
I see Ron Young in the chat. Thank you. Twisted as well. Welcome to the races here at Delmar, Keith. We're just getting ready to roll with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. I tried to petition Mike to play the audio broadcast. He said, you're going to have to do it, Ramon. So I'll probably turn off my mic and try to give a race call when we get going, and I'll try my best. Trevor Denman at Delmar. A couple others here that we also needed to mention here. Keith, I saw down the list. Want to cover at least all the entries here. Stop me if you have any comments, or wrap it up here as we get ready to head to the gate, including number 6, Jet Sweep Joe. He's actually the long shot in the race here at 60-1. Number 9, Shareholder, certainly has been attracting a little bit of attention here now at 16-1. Also here, Governor Sam is 6-1 here. Paco
that horse is going to show speed. Governor Sam from the 10 post. I actually started with this horse with my handicapping, because I always like to start with the speed for some reason. That's like my kind of thing, like where the speed's coming from. 10 post. Horse is very interesting to me. Now, as I look further, let me pull up a note here with Governor Sam. Now, I mean, for this horse, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, Keelan showed a lot of speed, good outside post. Now, we want that at Delmar, but the same time, I see, horses inside are going to get great trips, like the number 8, I think, who's the current favorite right now. And, for me, I think this horse is very classy. Now, yeah, you have as far as number 2, I think also. I like them all. I actually just put my bet in the chat there, 2, 5, 7, 8. But I think for Iroko Sieg, I mean, we're seeing a lot more of the twirling candies too, right? The sire. That's the thing. Big theme. I'm calling it right now. Twirling candies this weekend and Justifies. Those are the 2 sires that I think are going to get the most wins. And for me, this horse, it's a very versatile sire. And we've seen it from Japan. This is actually the point I was just saying before. Japan is coming for the speed now in the sprint. So the only thing is with this horse is in Europe, the speed, the actual course is a straightaway. This one here at Delmar, this is 1 turn. So I think that makes a big difference. I think that's the experience factor there. The 1 turn here at Delmar. A lot of the European tracks are straightaways, even for 5 furlongs. So good luck. They're heading to the gate right now. So let's go.
Yep. So I'll take my play here as well. I'm going to try Big Mojo to come back and get the best of the rival here in this one. Off that race, you mentioned Asterius there. So, these 2 are going to have to dig deep here on the inside with this field. Also just rounding out the field here a little bit on the outside here. We got Ortiz and Fletcher with Gate to Wire. Here we have number 12, Ides of March. I definitely have to throw this one in here. Maybe I'm just sticking too much to these combos. You do have Frankie Dettori here for Aidan O'Brien, Ides of March, and Irish bred here. So I've got to look. Maybe that's my number 4 pick here. Actually, in this one, I'll go Big Mojo, Whistle Jacket, and Arizona Blaze. So again, I'm going to be sticking with more royalty here, I think, in these fields a little bit. Keith. And I also like the fact that the connections here last year won with Big Eve, so they're loading up
Right.
in the gate here right now. We'll give it a try here with a race call. I want to say hello to
Let's go.
Trisha there in the chat, and also Keith. There are Keith's plays as well.
Let's go. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the first, episode. It's a live stream Breeders' Cup Friday and Saturday. Everybody's loading into the gate. I was just saying everybody's loading in professionally, and then the three kind of backed away. But, these are horses that they just want to go one way. It's all about the break right now in these sprints. I actually prefer a Delmar compared to like the, Charlestown. Charlestown, I like to be on the outside with speed, but Delmar, I would say I like middle pack. That's the way I like it. 4 or 5, something like that. 6, be good spot.
Now this one ain't gonna take long, so I'll get a good hint. We're ready to go, Keith. They're all in line.
All right, it's gonna go quick here.
And they're off in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Governor Sam is out there in the lead. Shareholder is out here as well, and there is Ikoro Sig is having a steady here, running into some traffic. Governor Sam is still up there. Asterius is moving up here as well right now. Arizona Blaze is in the middle of the pack. Magnum Force is back there. Gate to Wire and Whistle Jacket. Ides of March is trailing the field, but it's Governor Sam and Jet Sweep Joe showing speed out here at 92-1 at this point. But here comes Governor Sam. It's going to be big money here, it looks like. It's going to be a Korosig falling back, flying on the outside. Here comes Arizona Blaze. It's going to be a finish here with Magnum Force. Magnum Force. Arizona Blaze is second, followed by Big Mojo, Whistle Jacket, and Governor Sam. What a
call, Ramon.
He didn't hold up. Yeah, Jet Sweet Joe was trying to spring the upset. Magnum Force was coming down the stretch. And wow, Keith, that was absolutely terrific. Brilliant ride right there, it seemed like, by Colin Keene.
Yeah, you talked about this horse, Ramon. You said, what about Magnum Force? And it was that race. So great race call there, Ramon. This horse got the trip. Yeah, my price horse, the number 5, got second.
That was fun, but I did lose track there a little bit. Once the long shot started to peek his head up in there, that was a stirring moment.
Big move.
I got a little lost in my first wild Breeders' Cup race call there.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, you captured the emotion, and it was all about, just the big middle move there.
Well, I do have 3 monitors going. I did not want to miss one thing.
You know what happened with me, Ramon, is that I was watching it on delay, like about 15 seconds, but it was thrilling because you were kind of calling it before I was seeing it. But now I got the live feed here. It's funny.
Okay. Well, look at the trip right there, actually, Keith.
Beautiful. The 5 almost had it. Ramon, that would have been a sick start.
Yeah, and look at the 6 there hanging on, then just ran out of gas. But look at this ride, saving all that ground on the inside. It wasn't too scary to wait on that at 5 furlongs here to find that right trip there.
That could be telling too, right? That's a great point, Ramon. I know I saw it on the dirt the last race too, is that, speed has been going, crushing the last day and a half, but maybe now there's a little bit of a shift where I'm not saying an absolute closer, but somebody just off the pace like this can win. You don't have to be the front speed. The 10, actually, Governor Sam ran a really good race. I think he held on for third, so thought it was a really good race there.
I see Joe there in the chat. Let me make sure we can get him in here, Keith, as we get ready. Here, we'll get the price.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And yeah, if you have a second, give us the thumbs up button, and appreciate it. And yeah, put your plays in the chat too. I look forward to seeing them.
Keith, what did happen for you there? With, I know you had a lot of try. You left out. You didn't have that.
I didn't have the 4. Yeah, the 5 was my price play. Came in second. I mean, they have a thing called Stable Duel and things like that. I'm not in it today, but that would have been my cash play. I'm still, I was making a Keats cash play show. that would have been my play. So we kind of, hopefully you're going to hit one eventually. But if, one of these prices like that come in second, you're seeing some right today.
Just a terrific ride there. Arizona Blaze got up for second there. Keith,
Great ride on the 4.
Up here 25-1 with Magnum Force at 12-1, folks. You don't have to be, quite honestly, Keith, you don't have to be a genius or even an analyst or Keith or Ramon to take some shots. Every horse in this field has so much class that look, we saw the 90-1 shot hanging up there. Yes, I'm sure he finished back of the pack by the end, but only because this race
made people turn like yourself. That you captured it perfectly in the race call.
Yeah, so a great ride there, and man, a
good race.
Prices before we move on to the next race here. Ikoro Sig just had enough there by the end for sure. We're waiting on the show photo here, actually, Keith, this right now, so we won't move on just yet.
Well, here it is. Yeah, we got 4, 5, 10, 3, 7. So yeah.
Okay, so Magnum Force wins it. The Irish bred there, followed by Arizona Blaze, and Governor Sam hung on there for third, and Governor Sam was 8-1. So we're going to see some nice, real nice prices, no doubt about it. And this wasn't even, I don't know, I wouldn't call it huge. Any of these as huge upsets, even at 12-1, especially in this race.
That's pretty good though, yeah. Circle that race at Doncaster. The one I was saying, those horses, the top 2 came out of the same race in Doncaster in Great Britain. So what I do as a handicapper, I circle that race. The 2 won that race that was in this field. He came in 4th, so got 3 out of the top 4 in a Breeders' Cup race out of that same Doncaster race. That's big.
Well,
so to me, I circle it just in case of a horse that maybe was running there somehow pops up. That's when I pounce.
So there's my combo. Keith finished 4th.
Like a lotto ticket, exactly.
Mojo and Whistle Jacket there. I guess Arizona Blaze also. So I got 3 of the 5 up there in the top 5. The 3 that I picked there, and yeah, we did certainly. We were talking about Magnum Force, so certainly.
Yeah.
You mentioned it chased home both those top contenders in the Flying Childers. So the turn didn't bother him here today.
That's it.
Sure. So get those colors in there for this ownership group. And great job. Here come the prices right now. That $1 exacta Keith was $200. How about that?
Wow.
And riding with this
for $1 too. That's incredible. That's a great payout. That's a great payout. I didn't think it was going to be that much.
No doubt the try here pays $9.55 super, 10-cent super, $1,039 here. Magnum Force paid $27 to win. Arizona Blaze, $22 to place in Governor Sam. Wow. $6.40 to show. And we're off and running here at the Breeders' Cup 2024 World Championships from Delmar. And I think that's that race, Keith, that little short turn, that 5 furlong. I mean, that kind of capsulizes this racetrack. Not a typical distance at this track. They usually run a longer turf race. We'll see plenty of those here coming up.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it lived up to it. I mean, these are classy animals here. They're all coming from around the world. And, just for me, big connections. They've been in town for a while. One of my main angles today and tomorrow was I like horses that have actually had to work on the Delmar surface. So some of the foreign runners, too, you've even had to work on the Delmar surface. So consider those horses a lot. But you had to do a lot of work. But I'm hoping everybody's going to get rewarded.
No doubt about it. We'll get ready here for the next event and bring it up here. We've got a while to go here yet, 30 minutes of time. So this is the time where you guys can join us in the chat.
Thank you for everybody joining us. Yeah, we got, we're just starting here. So we got over 35 viewers, between, Twitter and YouTube here. So we're going to grow this horse racing stream. So thank you.
Yeah, joining us elsewhere as well. I've got a little counter here telling us we got 75 viewers.
Oh, okay.
Here watching. Appreciate.
I know Ramon's on top of the media there. It's in his name.
like I said, I told Keith, I'm not, as much as I want to get this man on the air, he was all fired up, made me ready to go. I said, hey, we don't do any races that aren't $1 million or more. So we're doing the Breeders' Cup
It
World
was a
Champ-
little chalky in the beginning, that our Heisman horse, the race before we came on came in second. So that's what I was saying. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of an off the pace on the dirt that will materialize. Now on these big stakes days, the maintenance crew, they actually really soup up the racetrack. We've seen it. It's speed. It's just, you have to be speed up front. It's kind of like a woodbine kind of thing too. You have to be, that's synthetic, but you have to be up front for me. But now maybe we're seeing a little bit of a shift. I'm very interested to see this next race here. This is 8.5 furlongs on the dirt. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Horses will come into the paddock, and we'll have more time than we did in that first one here. But again, we're going to be here for the next 2 nights, and we're going to have 4 more races today. You see the lineup there on the side. Race 6 here at Del Mar is the Juvenile Turf Sprint coming up, and then followed by the Juvenile Fillies, Juvenile Fillies Turf after this one, and then the Juvenile there as often is a preview of who will be the favorite in the Kentucky Derby for next year. And then the Juvenile Turf rounds up the coverage here with Keith and I. And then, Keith, get ready. You think this is going to be fun. We're going to do 9 races tomorrow, including...
Oh, yeah, this is the appetizer. Yeah, the main course. I mean, everything is the big days tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not discounting this future Fridays. I thought this card was sort of on the chalky side, but we just had a 12-1 winner. So that's going to really spice things up a little bit. But yeah, I did a lot of work on tomorrow's card. We could actually, maybe in between races, we can mention a horse or two that I like or you like for tomorrow also.
Oh, for sure. And of course, the big event tomorrow, the $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic, contested over the classic distance of 1.25 miles, and the $5 million Breeders' Cup Turf, which is probably, I don't know, might be just as thrilling, actually, if this turf course is any indication of what we just saw. So still 27 minutes before our next race here. The Juvenile Fillies will give us a thrill here in just a little bit, but we'll be here tomorrow as well, Keith, for all 9. I know it's going to kind of bump up against our coverage of the UFC, but we don't mind, whatever you want. We're going to be here to navigate coverage here. Then we're going to send Keith over to the UFC coverage.
Oh man, if I'm still standing. Exactly. No, I'm going to hopefully be, celebrating my winnings then. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Grandma Horse Racing. She gifted a membership in the chat. So thank you very much. I'm going to do a drink if you want whatever you drink, Ramon.
Real quick, Keith. I was lining everything up. Let me get over there and say hello to everyone, including
thank you.
Horse Racing. Unbelievable that you guys have found a way over here. Gizmo Hardy in the chat as well. Trisha M is here. There's Grandma Horse Racing. Thank you so much, Grandma Horse Racing. We couldn't ask for a better guest on our show here today. And
cheers.
Appreciate the comments in the chat as well. And hopefully, hey, we want more. We want your comments and questions as well. Like I said, look, Grandma Horse Racing knows her way around a superfecta. But if those of you don't, and this is your first time experiencing this type of coverage and this type of wagering, right? And one thing I mentioned also, Keith, if some folks are there with maybe they're getting their picks ready for the night. Mike's about ready to fire up with pre-gaming over there, previewing the sports betting card. You can look at the options offered by your sports book. They're not going to shy away from this.
Good point.
They may offer, maybe if you're dealing offshore or something, they may offer.
I heard you talking about that on the morning steam, Ramon's show in the morning. I would love to have a head-to-head bet, but, I just don't think it's – I saw a lot of chatter on Twitter. I don't think it's legal. It's not really legal in many states, but that would be like Fierceness versus City of Troy, for example. That would be like so much fun. I know that Rapoli actually tweeted it, the owner of Fierceness. He said, how about -110 Fierceness, -110 City of Troy? It would probably be like -150, -150, but still, that would be fun, right?
No doubt about it. And
they had to juice it better than that. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm looking right now at the current odds offered, fixed odds in some of these races. Let me see. I'm looking at some of the matches.
Oh, that's cool. I know Monmouth. I was there last summer. Monmouth does it. They have it at the track, the fixed odds. There was a little bit of a line. There was like 4 guys waiting.
Fierceness. Let's see. City of Troy minus $1.40 over Fierceness at even
Wow.
in one of the matchups. A little bit of a bigger straddle here, no doubt, by the book.
I feel like that's a good matchup. I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like that kind of is even because, yeah, City of Troy's never raced in America. Then Fierceness is, could be 3-year-old of the year. I think if Fierceness comes first or second here, going to be very close to male, 3-year-old of the year. If this horse wins the race, definitely I think it's a slam dunk.
Fierceness $1.40 over Sierra Leone at even money.
Wow.
One of your favorites here, Tapit Trice is in with a few matchups here. I'm looking at
it's hard because Ramon, I was talking about the how the track's playing. I would have to see a little bit of a shift for me. I mean, I like Tapit Trice on paper, but for me, it would be probably more of like a 3rd or 4th at best. I mean, something like that. You never know. I want to see how this dirt race comes out. This is like the route, the 8.5 furlongs. I want to see how this plays.
Yeah, so you can find them. Depends where you're playing and where your money's posted up there. But I'm looking at, like I said, sportsbook in faraway places will have those matchups there and those fixed odds. So you can kind of compare. The one thing you won't see really at the Breeders' Cup too much here, Keith, is a variance from once that betting really starts rolling in, those odds don't really not like one of Mike's races where he wonders why he just bet on a 99-1 at 3 minutes before post time and he went off at 2-5 by the time
they got your money. Exactly.
Pulled the gates on him.
Oh, well, it's not the small pools, exactly, like you say. We've seen that in the the Tuesday and the Wednesday night racing. But yeah, this is where the big money shows up. I mean, it's Kentucky. I think it's a different betting day than Kentucky Derby because that's like, people really bet. I think this is more of like the horse players kind of really pound the pools in this one.
All right, they're about ready to come into the paddock here, I believe, to get ready for the Juvenile Fillies here. 22 minutes before post. $2 million purse here in this one, Keith, with double the stakes here with the young ladies here. And we got right now, a 9-5 favorite here in Immersive with Manuel Franco on 4. Brad Cox, Joel Rosario's won this race 3 out of the last 6 years, but he has no mount here this time around. So Immersive, I asked you the other day about the Godolphin team. I think they're pretty heavily quality represented here in this one with Brad Cox, and of course Immersive had a good performance in the juvenile at Kentucky in Kentucky, and also is 3 for 3 and a grade 1 winner here already.
Nice, Saratoga, yeah.
What are you thinking here with this field? You also, like I said, with a 9-5 favorite, but you also have some other choices in here with some good prices. I mean, obviously, this one we are dealing with a little shorter field. I think we're going to have send 9 to the post here in this one, and the second choice is one of the Japanese-bred horses, the Input American Bikini and Scottish Lassie. The two other favorites, if you will, are on the outside here.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, Ramon, it was actually one of the races I zeroed in on, just a couple of horses in this one. Now, I have a price horse I'll get to eventually here. Immersive for me is my top pick. I mean, just, visually speaking, this horse makes up a ton of ground, just very quickly. That's what I look for in these horses, not really exerting too much energy too. And we've seen the Brad Cox barn in stakes races is actually hitting nearly, I think it's about 46% right now in stakes races for Cox in the last month. So his barn has really turned it around. It's been the last couple of months was very unlike Brad Cox. And Godolphin too. I think Godolphin's actually got a lot of runners. The last year or two, I would say Godolphin's not been the same, Godolphin, but this is actually, I think this could be Godolphin's day or weekend here. I think they're going to have a couple of live runners. So I like Immersive there. You got the hot trainer. And then American Bikini, you just mentioned with the Japanese here. Horse is really well bred. I did a deep dive on the breeding here with the pedigree. The half sister is actually, this horse is a half sister to a grade 1 winner, Paralyzed Lights, and one at the same distance. Yeah, one at 1 1/8 miles. So there you go. So it's the same distance. So Connection's actually been pointing to this race for a long time. I love that angle when they talk about, oh, you know what, this horse is right from the beginning. How do we get to the Breeders' Cup? I'll just say real quick, I think Vaca with a twist from the inside, who's taking big money right now. 7-1 was a 20-1 morning line. This horse is a sprinter, stretching out. I think Vaca with a twist and Nooney are going to really duel in this. I think it's going to set it up for Immersive. I think Immersive's going to pounce on this one. I'll give you one more real quick, Ramon, is that I do like the number 5 Quick Kick. That's the other horse I included. Finished second to Immersive. So I like that. You got Dylan Davis flies over to California. I know he's got another mountain or two, but I think this mountain is very live for Dylan Davis, and definitely to include in the exactas. So I like a 3-5-9 here.
Yeah, I probably can't get off Immersive here for probably just a win bet for me with Godolphin. And, I'd hope to get a little bit better than I figure maybe a 2-1 by post time here, 9-5 currently. But you mentioned some of those contenders. We're seeing the jocks walk into the paddock area here. So we're still 18 minutes away from post time. You mentioned American Bikini here. In this one now. Let me see here my odds screen there, 7-2 currently. And what did we say here for the outside horse? Scottish Lassie is at 4-1. You didn't.
This is a very interesting horse to me, Ramon. I didn't know what to do with this horse. I just thought, I wanted to like this horse for some reason. I just thought the post hurts. The post hurts a little bit here, 10 post. And, you see one more thing on this horse, the 10. The only reason I didn't use this horse is that the figures jumped up huge in that Belmont at the Big A. I don't like using that horse after the big jump up in the figure. I figure that doing that twice from the 10 post, not me as a bettor.
On the short, they always say on the short sample size, the big jump up, be careful a little bit. But that was a tremendous.
I respect what that horse did, but that's for a betting standpoint, that's tough. Exactly.
Yeah, and you also mentioned Vodka with a twist, stretching out here a little bit, I believe here, but you do have Ortiz up. So see if Irad can make an impact here this weekend as well. We'll go through maybe the entire field here and take a look also at some of the price horses here. Thank you to everybody joining us here for our coverage. There's Keith's picks here with Immersive. That's just the way I've got to go here. You got a, 2-time grade 1 winner coming in here. So that feels pretty good.
And a lot of things going in this horse's favor. Yeah. I mean, just multiple has won so many in a row.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the figures here. I would think with this kind of field right now. I mean, I don't think the figures could necessarily sell you on Immersive, but if you saw Submersive in the Alcibiades, certainly that's one you want to have leading up to this, and so that was impressive. All right, number 2 is Snow White here at 22-1. Was in that Frizette. They're still a maiden, but did beat Scottish Lassie. Yeah, and La Cara here, Ricardo Santana up currently at 16-1 here, it looks like. La Cara here.
I just couldn't get on board with this horse, Ramon. I mean, I know just won a stakes, but I mean, that field, it was 14 horses. That's the only thing I'll give for La Cara, but that field was kind of weak for me compared to this. I mean, very weak. That was like a kind of it was a $300,000. I'm sorry. Yeah. $300,000. It looks like $3K, a $300K for La Cara there. But this field towers over that field.
Yeah. Probably not as impressive at Churchill as in that Saratoga victory, that first victory at Saratoga. Number 5 here at 8-1 is Quick Kick with Dylan Davis. So we'll take a look here for sure with
I like this horse.
Second in the Alcibiades, broke its maiden at the Spa, beat that Frizette winner, and then went 2 turns closing last in that last race to finish second in that Alcibiades.
Yeah, I mean, for a horse to do that, I mean, win at New York and then just be right there in the money in Kentucky, I mean, just means that this horse is somehow like getting in the exacta, right? I like these kind of price horses that run in the money a lot. That's one of my, big angles, is that somehow they get second or third. Big tough races, broke the maiden there at Saratoga, and even before breaking the maiden came in third. So very competitive, and Quick Kick I think is going to run a big one. Lightly raced too compared to a lot of these horses.
Okay, you got to name off their training. So here, the long shot is Otamena's Shacho. Here, not much here for me on this import.
I don't have anything on this runner.
Yeah,
I didn't even really do a deep dive. I mean, if I lose, I lose. But I mean, that's it.
They're beat badly by American Bikini, although broke maiden next out at a 6 furlong here. So
Spite's down filly. So I mean, decent. Out of a curling mare. So I mean, that's good. It's good pedigree, but not really not a lot of racing experience.
all right, I certainly can give some attention here to Nooney with Bob Baffert training and Pratt at board, but Baffert really has been a whiff at the Breeders' Cup for several years now. So feels like Nooney here certainly was at the top of the class during the summer, finished second in the Oakleaf, but just hasn't been making any strides. Could be out there with the leaders.
Yeah, I mean, this horse is, taking a little money. I mean, you have a top jockey aboard. Pratt is, again, is actually run very well in California. A lot of these horses are shipping from around the world. So you got a lot of, a win at Santa Anita, then Delmar. Then, I know the disappointing fifth there at Delmar. So I think that's why you're maybe getting a little bit of a price here on Nooney. But we're seeing the money. Let's look at the will pays. The will pay money didn't really show up on Nooney. So that's one of the things that horse players, a little bit, but not enough for me. A little cold on the board for the will pays, like the doubles, pick 3, pick 4. We'll get into that for the new horse players.
And Trisha got a hunch play here with the vodka with a twist.
As I just take my drink. Cheers to you.
Oh, there you go. And again, we'll see with the D'Amato trained entry here currently at 8-1. Here, I think that's a little bit of a good, a little bit of money. You'd mentioned it maybe there, a little bit of money coming in with vodka with a twist here.
Yeah.
In this one. So they're riders up in the paddock right now for the $2 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile. We're still 12 minutes away from post and to pick 4 building here over $1 million. Keith, I know you said you're going to play just individual races here pretty
for
much.
now. I mean, yeah, I might well, we got 4 races left. So, I'll probably, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure if I want a single immersive. I mean, it's a horse that comes from off the pace, but I think it's a very logical horse. I think immersive's gonna get a setup because I predict that vodka with the twist stretching out from the one post, Irad's gonna ascend no matter what, and then I think that's gonna be the duel with Nooney. I think on front, American Bikini is gonna try not to lose too much ground, but I think it's gonna set up for immersive. So I think the 3 is gonna win. So I got 3, 5, 9.
I also think Immersive is the horse to beat. Hello to everyone
in
the chat. Wine Time wants to maybe play the race here. Oldie in the chat. They were asking about you today, Oldie. Thanks for being in here. Appreciate that. Appreciate here as we continue the audience. Razor's here. Razor, you better not be doing, want you to be.
I'm gonna have to take a shot with this guy here. Here we go.
Here, gifting a membership here. Hopefully, just relaxing and messing around on your phone or anything.
Thank you, Razor.
Here, but Razor, I saw a comment yesterday, Keith. I think you sent out a tweet, or Mike did, promoting the event here today. And Razor said, well, if I could get you guys to come on Razor Sharp Pit.
I saw that. I liked it.
I just was thinking, that's when I thought of that line. I said, hey, I don't go on the air unless it's $1 million race. So, I know Razor's he's going to do some damage with those horses.
Yeah, those claiming races at Mahoning, right? And right. I know he won 21K, and then he won 40K a couple of weeks back. So shout out to you, Razor.
And we're thinking about you on your vacation here. We'd love to have you.
Hope you're enjoying it. Exactly.
Here comes his pick. Why don't you break it down for us, Keith, and see what Razor's got here?
I like it, Razor. Yeah, we were just talking about your win bet.
twist to win. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I mean, it's an angle. You might be onto something there, Razor. This is it's a sprinter stretching out. You got Irad. The public's taking them, 8-1 from a 20-1 morning line. Only concern I have is that there's going to be other speed like Nooney. You're going to see Scottish Lassie trying to get involved, from the 10 post. I do like the 9 to get a decent trip. But for me, Vogta with a twist. Inside is the quickest way, right? And then we've seen the speed do pretty well so far on the Breeders' Cup track here, at Delmar. So could be onto something there with the 1. And I do see the other plays here. So good luck to you, Razor, and everybody in the chat.
Yeah, and if I could just add, Keith, it looks like it's an absolute perfect day, a perfect November day here. There wasn't November racing at Delmar when I was a kid. You only had 43 days, Keith, to enjoy the beauty of this track, but so proud that they're able to host this event for the 3rd time, and they'll be the first track ever to host back-to-back Breeders' Cups. They're coming back, and why not? Look at if you guys are using us as companion coverage, look at the paddock there.
Get there next year, right?
Absolutely. Oh, hey, we're gonna be on site next year.
That would be amazing, Ramon. I would sign up for something, at least from our phones or something, right?
All right. Well, let's see, Keith. It'll be your job to get me out there next
Originally,
year.
I wanted to go to this one or the Pacific Classic, but yeah, my goal is to get to California at some point next year, either to Delmar. I've been to Santa Anita before. It's beautiful.
Okay, well then I would just say this, right? And of course, just like at you're a New York racing fan, so just like at opening day at Saratoga, the opening day at Delmar equally as special, right? And what happens is, of course, we know what they say, Keith. Opening day is for amateurs. You go day 2. Okay, you go day 2. That's when the real fans. But you still got to go opening day, really. You got to see the hats. You got to see the let's just say the co-eds on
right.
There at Delmar, and it's an absolutely incredible place. Keith, you can go up to the grandstand and you're looking over the Pacific Ocean as the race is going on.
They say you could smell like the breeze from the ocean. I mean, it doesn't really get. And then San Diego and Delmar, right? I've never been there before, but I've heard it's like perfect weather, like every single day. No rain, not hot or cold, just perfect.
And it looks like it's perfect conditions here right now for the World Championships. And we're with Keith each every stride. I'm Ramon Scott.
Thank you
for joining us here for that. Thank you, Razor, as well. We got Keith plays up there again. And again, I'm just going to
thank you so much.
Immersive here when we go to the post. We're 6 minutes away from post time here. Look, I mean, they're showing Nooney here right now, talking about Baffert's success here a little bit. But this is
this looks good.
A little bit of home field advantage here if Nooney was able to step up here, right, and score here for Baffert. And we've seen, Pratt here.
He's
as
1
well.
for 18 though, Ramon. 1 for 18 on these recently on Breeders' Cup days. So it's. Yeah. I think Baffert kind of cleans up more on the California Stakes days rather than the Breeders' Cup, but it's tough. He might have one winner this weekend, but I'm not sure if it's going to be Nooney.
Challenges, of course, as well, throughout the scene a little bit, and that's the story, for another day. But again, that's what we're trying to improve about our sport.
I like Muth a little bit. We'll talk about it. I think Muth will bounce back.
Well, if you look at this, if you look at kind of the, some of the speed and power figures for some of the Equibase stuff, Nooney would rate right up there in this class. I guess the odds would indicate that as well. But again, we're looking here at 9-5 right now on Immersive here, morning line 3-1.
Race sets up for this horse, I think. Yeah.
Bernardini here. So Franco
looks a little sweaty though. Only concern, I've gotten a little better looking at these horses. Horse is working up a sweat a little bit. Unfortunately, I mean, it's good energy as I'm looking at this horse on the screen. Good energy with the pony. Got a little bit of a lather, though. That's the only concern.
And then following that right now, still the 2 outside horses here, American Bikini and Scottish Lassie, both at 4-1. Here again, Keith. I didn't think when you were including your impact horses, the Japanese breds. Was this one of them here in this race, or were you looking at some of the bigger races? I say bigger races. This is a pretty big one, but
Couple tomorrow, Ramon. I
okay.
actually picked a couple like in the exactas, these kind of plays. There's a 20-1 horse. I'll pull up the race that I thought was interesting. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think Forever Young. I mean, I've actually kind of gone full circle on this horse because I tried to beat this horse so many times just in my head, right? I mean, even in the Kentucky Derby too. But I might possibly key that horse come the Classic. We'll talk about it though a little later on and tomorrow, of course.
Yeah, and last year, remember, just FYI, won the race last year with Colorado Award for
Right.
Bill Mott. And you wonder if something like that could go down this time around here. But again, this one kind of to me looks like, this is more just it's usually an American horse that wins, that scores here in this race. So if anything, that's why I couldn't include the Japanese bred here, really. So, all right, we're just 3 minutes away from post, or walking up here close to the gate. And
I mean, it's American Pharaoh. That's the thing. I mean, but yeah, it's tough. I mean, with American Bikini, I think that it's going to come down to the trip for the 9. I really do. I think it's so important. I think the 10 Scottish Lassie is going to really try to get out of there from the 10 posts. I think the race really sets up for the 3. I mean, 9-5. Well, now it's 8-5 now. If it was 9-5, I would think about putting a win bet on the 3. That's how I think the race is going to set up for the 3. But I'm a 3-5-9.
I was hinting that maybe there could be some other money coming in to drop this horse to 2-1, but that's not going to happen here. Is Immersive an 8-5 choice here?
The 10's taking a lot of money, Ramon. Yeah.
Yeah, the 10 here, as we mentioned, Scottish Lassie with Lescano.
This is a horse I struggled with. I said, I said before I started the race with this horse, I'm looking at the horse on the track. Again, it's a nice day at Delmar. A lot of horses with a little lather on them. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's, normal that they actually have that kind of little sweat on them, but I think it's at least, it's 85 degrees, I think there.
Yeah, and although these horses have already been in a few good races, it's definitely, like we said, Keith, in some of the 2-year-olds out there are going to have more actual race experience, but not the level of quality here that these horses have been set up for in this one. And even when you see the race, you can see, the quality of the race. Usually don't get anything too crazy out there. So that's why this race, notwithstanding, it is okay to kind of, be on the chalk and not feel like you're too, not going to get a good return a little bit here. But this one, again, this might be, I don't know, this might be, you can think of one here on this weekend that might be, there might be one that might be less than 8-5 here this weekend. But this one feels pretty solid.
Really, yeah. There's a couple horses like that, like that Victoria horse too. That could be a single for Aiden. Wow, these horses are really loading in very well right now.
Great. I'll get ready here for it and see how we do. Yeah, we're loading up quick here.
You're killing it with these race calls, Ramon. So cheers.
They're all in the gate.
Let's go.
Scottish Lassie.
Good luck, everybody.
Loading in. Here we go.
This is it.
And they're sent underway in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Nooney goes out to the early lead here with Pratt aboard, and American Bikini's going to join along the outside. Vodka with a Twist is
called it.
There's Immersive. Scottish Lassie's a little wide. Snow White, Lacara. Otomina Sacho's second to last, and Quick Kick is going to outkick here to come out of last. Nooney's opened up here 3 lengths on American Bikini. They went 22 flat in the quarter, so Nooney's going pretty well. American Bikini's on the outside.
It's going to be tough to beat.
with a twist along the rail. Immersive is fourth, down by about 7. And on the outside of that is Scottish Lassie, about 6 off. Snow White's in the back here with La Cara and Quick Kick, and Otamina Chacho at 50-1 trails the field. They've gone 44.99 in the half, and Nooney by 4 with 3 furlongs to go.
Here they come.
Vodka with a twist coming on. Scottish Lassie as well. American Bikini's had enough. Immersive's going to have to get going here. Vodka with a twist is in the lead, and Scottish Lassie's right there along the outside.
Oh, here we go.
Lane. Scottish Lassie and Immersive are going at it here, and here comes on the outside. It's Immersive.
Boom, just like that.
Immersive's going to have too much class here. She's pulling away under.
Come on, 5.
Going to be Immersive. Impressive. Vodka with a twist will get second. And hey, how about Quick Kick? Third, all the way from the back.
Yeah, from the back. Yeah,
finished 4th. Wow, kid.
Great race call, Ramon. Right, the race, the pace, right? Set up for this horse, it fit him like a glove, and hopefully, I think it was 8-5 or something like that. Not bad, right? On a big Breeders' Cup day.
Fractions were going to set up perfectly, and when you saw that set down for the drive, there was a 3-1 stride there at that point. All of a sudden, a duel in the stretch turned into a 3-length lead in a split second.
Yeah, I mean, and a great call by Razor. I mean, on Vodka with a twist. I thought that, that horse really stuck around late and had a great race. But Immersive, I mean, this horse was traveling well all the way. Perfect. I mean, I'm watching the replay right now. The horse, now he asked the question. This is a horse you have to get after, too. You have to show him the stick a little bit, get after him. Once he showed him the stick, past the 9, no problem. American Bikini, and then just kept on grinding. Give this horse more lengths and more ground, the better.
Yeah, and no doubt we'll be seeing stardom here for Immersive.
This is incredible. Yeah, I mean, this is a horse that just gobbles up ground just without even just knowing that he does it. I think so. This is 4 wins in a row, right? Oh, let's see. Yeah, 4 wins in a row.
Yep, undefeated here.
Undefeated.
All a grade 1 here, grade 1 specialty, and very much it ran more like a 4-5 right there, Keith.
Yeah, you got the value right there. I mean, 2-1? You kidding me?
Oh, did it go
kind
up?
of a gift, actually. I'm not usually say that 2-1 is a gift.
I got it right, huh? It did go off at 2-1. Just had to wait for that late post.
Ooh, that's a gift a little bit right there. So hopefully people catch that one.
Let's see here. Oh, Scottish Lassie went down to 7-2. That's
where the money went, and then the 9 floated up. Yep, 4-1. Yeah. According to the TVG app here.
Yeah, so no, not better than that 3-1 morning line. That was a dream, but 2-1, that might have been again. That's nice. Not too bad. After
better than 8-5, a 9-5, but 2-1 is nice.
There, and Vodka with a twist second. We got that official order of finish with Quick Kick all the way up for third, and Scottish Lassie and La Cara.
That's saying something, Ramon, though. That horse came all the way in the back and came in third. I'm liking Tabit Trice more and more now a little bit. I mean, it's just, you got to have a horse coming from the back, though. It's going to be tough, right, on these big stakes days like Sierra Leone. I mean, Sierra Leone kind of just a little bit of a troubles on his own, though. Hopefully, I mean, it's a horse I'm intrigued with. I've always been, gets an exacta machine, but at the same time, just doesn't like passing horses at the end for some reason.
Yeah, it should be awesome tomorrow, Keith. And I'll be here for the coverage of.
I got all my research done, but we're never done as handicappers, right? You got to always. I'm always going to glance later tonight.
Oh, for sure. You can take another look here. Also, want to read, we're on site, so we'll get some more stories and everything. And, maybe I'm out here. Maybe I'm too much of a wiki handicapper. I feel like a little bit on these races of what you're going to hear from me over the next couple of days and the horses that I like. I kind of stick to royalty a little bit. Here in some of these races, there's a little bit of been there, done that when it comes to the Breeders' Cup. And again, I'm a big Godolphin supporter here, so they scored in maybe like you said, maybe in fine Godolphin fashion that we're looking for here with Immersive. Okay, we'll wait for the payoffs here and looking at this winning ride right now on the jockey cam and steady as she goes. Wow, just feels like a real smooth ride there. Looks like a hectic, but I know what this jockey's feeling, having watched these cams here. Gives a look at the crowd across the finish line there, and a great ride. Let's give credit to Manuel Franco.
A lot of great rides.
And Brad Cox for sure. Here we'll get the payoffs as they roll in, and we'll get ready for here they come. Actually, Keith, as Immersive, $6 payoff here to win. Vodka with a twist, $6.80, $4.20 to place. Quick kick finished at $4 to show, $24.20 exacta here. The try pays $50.90, 10 cents. Superfecta $34.50. Super high five for this one, $1,285. Daily double comes in 4-3 for $51.
Nice double
as well. So that'll do it for the Juvenile Fillies here, $2 million race, and to see Immersive here in the winner's circle. And we'll get ready. We got a while to go here, so thanks for joining.
Yeah, we got 30-something minutes to post, so you're crushing it, Ramon, right now. I mean, your race calls and everything you're hosting, so thank you for having me here on Sports Money, horse racing network here, and then everybody in the chat too. I mean, amazing. So thank you so much. I see Trish, Nasty Nate, Gizmo, and Grandma Horse Racing. So let's go.
All right, we're coming up next. We'll preview the next race. Like I said, we've got a few minutes. We'll take any questions or comments that you have in the chat. But next up will be the $1 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Fillies Turf here over 1 mile over that Delmar course. This is what more is expected here. It feels like this is what I like to see, 1 mile here at Delmar. Got Chad Brown, a 6-time winning trainer of this one, including last year, of course, with hard to justify with Flavian Pratt aboard. But the Irish Breds have won 3 of the last 6 years here in this one, Keith. I don't know if you want to give us a little synopsis. We got quite a ways to go, but next up, if anybody's
never too early, right, Ramon?
Never too early.
Exactly. I mean, for me, the race, a lot of cappers, it goes through the number 1, right? Lake Victoria. I mean, it's tough. I mean, this is a Ryan Moore stays aboard on this horse. I said the Aiden Army's strong right now this year. Now, this horse is he's beaten a lot of nice horses overseas. And he even had she had a bad trip last time and still won. So I like the adversity there. I mean, the bettors see it. But, I mean, for me, I'm going to go with a couple horses here, just sort of like an exacta box to create value. I like the number 9, Kilman. Kilwin, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, Kilwin, number 9 here. Working out very well. Great works. Could sit a nice trip. Now, the only concern is the outside posts here. Haven't done too well so far, but hopefully not a wide trip. This is the Kentucky Downs curse, right? So it comes down to this Kentucky Downs curse. These horses coming in from Kentucky Downs are like 0 for 83 in the Breeders' Cup. Well, so there's a couple of horses. I think it's going to get broken. I'm not hopefully by this horse, but we'll see. Outside draw. They don't do too well, but the number 12 I like also. Mayday Ready. So I got a couple other prices. Lake Victoria is going to be my number 1, but can make a move from the 12 post. I think this horse, we got to see pace from the 12 hole there, though. So for me, I'm on 1, 9, 12 here in race 8.
Yeah, I've got to roll with the favorite here. You got Coolmore, you got Moore and O'Brien, right? So this is what I'm looking at here, talking about the royalty a little bit. Those that have been there and done that, it feels like for me, Moore is one, obviously, and also I'm interested maybe in the Little Red Feather horse here. Thought process. Maybe I'm just a fan here of the West Coast, but did win here already 3 times. So. And also had been able to cover the mile here since switching on to the turf. So maybe just the top American threat here for me is thought process. But again, I'd probably navigate towards towards the imports here a little bit with this one. I mean, that's what you're getting here with Lake Victoria. Just feels like all the class here. Again, this was the one you mentioned here. I said, hey, find me the big favorite here. And I don't know if we're going to get much better than, 1 to 2 right now. I hope we do. We'll have to find some horses in there to put in there right now.
I mean, the double got crushed, Ramon, too. I mean, it's 5-1 for the double.
Okay, well, yeah, this Lake Victoria, this Irish bred coming in here, rare to see this quality of horse actually even make the trip to America. Right. So I think that they really want this one here for this horse.
This is one of the most likely winners of the weekend, I think, right here.
Yeah, so we'll have to find some ways, as you mentioned, with those other horses maybe in here to beat these two. So that's why I kind of look to some thought process, even here at 7 to 1 off of 5 to 2 morning line. But again, it's all that money on Lake Victoria 8 to 5 morning line here, which actually felt a little bit light here for the quality that we might see here from this horse on the rail here at a mile. In this one, you mentioned Kilwin currently at 12 to 1 was 20 to 1 on the morning line. Mayday Ready down to 13 to 1 here, off of a morning line of 20 to 1. So we've got a full field here, 14 to go here.
Race.
This one, going the mile here on the turf at Delmar. So we're gonna just have to find a way to beat this Lake Victoria, or find a way to try to make the most of Lake Victoria if indeed Moore and O'Brien can score here with this combo. And anytime you see this ownership group here, Keith, when you got the Tabor, Tabor, if you see Tabor, Smith, Magny, Brent, when you see any of that crew in there,
horse is live. Yeah.
I mean, this is their, I know it's all their jobs, but this is what they do as an ownership group.
Could be a superior animal. Exactly. Just with the ownership group and the connections. No, I agree. I mean, this was, like I said, this was one of the most, singled horses, I think, by a lot of horse players. The fact that Immersive just won, I mean, that's 5 to 1 on the double right there. That says something. Wow. 5 to 1.
Yeah, maybe we could shake it up here on the turf. We'll take a look at this field here coming in. We're not even ready in the paddock yet, so we got a ways to go. Thank you to everybody here. We got 75 of you here joining us live on the streams on the Sports Money Network with Keith each every stride.
Oh yeah, we need one more like for a shot. I said 30 likes. We'll do a shot or a drink, whatever you prefer. And thank you everybody for tuning in here. We're talking the horses. This is a Future Star Friday. So a lot of horses that we see, just circle them, if they have good performances or even if they have bad trips too. I think that's what it comes down to is the watching, the film and everything. I did a lot of film watching. So I saw a couple of Japan horses I like too for tomorrow. I'll talk about.
Now, like I said, you'll have to prove it to me, Keith. The Japanese imports will have to prove it to me here.
Right.
Breeders' Cup. We've seen them score a few times, but it feels like they've been trying, and they came in. I think part of the whole build-up or the lead-up to this year's Breeders' Cup certainly was them loading the plane up with the imports here, bringing in their best to try to get it done here in the United States at the Breeders' Cup. And like I said, no disrespect, to previous connections that they just don't bring this type of horse, talking about Lake Victoria, this type of horse, usually in the 2 year, they'll bring the older horses they won't even think twice. But a lot of times you don't see this type of 2-year-old quality ship in here. So again, we're not trying to talk you off of a favorite certainly here, because this is going to be a tough horse to beat. But if that favorite doesn't show up, we're going to be ringing the bell, Keith.
Oh yeah, I mean it for sure. This is going to separate a lot of tickets, right? If this one loses, I was just looking at the one's past performances. Lake Victoria, actually one time she wasn't the favorite and still won. That was at Kirk Lake, and that was actually 2 races back, and just it doesn't matter. I mean, this horse makes their own trip here, so I don't think the one post is a big deal.
Play.
Yeah, we're going 3 to 5 right now here on Lake Victoria. So, we'll try to see if we can build it up a little bit here, but we'll take a look at the entire field and some of the other contenders. Keith mentioned to you a few of the outsiders, but there's some also other ones with a little bit shorter price here, including my, so I guess I got the second choice there actually with thought process there with Hector Barrios for Phil D'Amato, currently at 6 to 1. And also,
D'Amato has done very well with these kind of horses recently, but the thing is, I'll let this horse beat me. You've been talking about this horse a lot. You're getting an overlay right now too. 6 to 1, great form in California. That was one of the decisions I had to make, as a handicapper. Are you going to take these California horses that are in great form versus these horses that are like Europe, Japan, everything? It was a puzzle that hopefully I put together okay, but yeah, got to put a lot of work into it.
Critical notice.
How about Heaven's Gate here at 20 to 1 off of a morning line of 12 to 1, an Irish spread here for Aidan O'Brien with Wayne Lorden up. He rates pretty high in some of the Equibase numbers here, Keith. Maybe even the second choice on some of the figures. Actually here, Heaven's Gate comes in off of a win. Seem to be improving, going 7 furlongs at the Cura, but for me, I don't know. Heaven's Gate here does fit the bill with that owner, with the Tabor and Smith group here. So that's maybe why some of those figures are a little bit high here. But again, we're dealing with these 2-year-old fillies. So like I said,
Horse got a great trip last time, Ramon. Yeah, I mean, interesting horse, good connections, like you said. I mean, Aidan O'Brien, but, for me, just held on the last race and, just was, made a middle move, held on the final 100 yards there for Heaven's Gate, the number 8 here coming up. But for me, I want to see more, right? It's just held on. It was a yielding turf course. So maybe you're onto something there with the better turf course here, but for me, the class. I mean, that was the first win in a while before the other event there in the sweepstakes. But for me, not class wise and just the trip, I'm going to pass.
And from there, Keith, really all the horses basically 15 to 1, and we've actually covered the favorites here, believe it or not, with some of these longer prices. So number 2 here is Nitrogen with Jose Ortiz. Aboard here at 46 to 1. A maiden coming in.
He took this mount. Yeah,
going to be up against it here, coming in out of Woodbine, I believe.
Yeah, just a maiden from Woodbine. Coming out of races that, decent races, and finished 3rd out of 11 horses, so not bad. I'm the one. For me, it's in the toolbox, I guess. Rich Perloff used to say that on TVG all the time. The toolbox. I don't like Woodbine at Breeders' Cup shipping to like Delmar. Usually, Moira. I like Moira a little bit for tomorrow, but more of an underneath play. But for me, Nitrogen, toss for me, unfortunately.
Long shot here at 70 to 1. Here down to 60 to 1 now is Corretto, a Calumet Farm bred here with Jorge Ruiz for Graham Motion. Here, real long shot here though at 60 to 1. Sister to Spooky Channel, but man, this is going to be a long order for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, broke the main at Kentucky down, so, but that was, going 7 furlongs there, and came in 3rd place at the Big A. But yeah, I mean, just again, I just class perspective there. I mean, just this horse could be a good horse, but just not right now against this field.
I guess we didn't. Maybe Scythian here kind of fits the bill of a little bit of a favorite at 15-1, 12-1 on the morning line. Junior Alvarado for Bill Mott here for Scythian comes in off of the big A races there, as was there in the Miss Grillo and got a perfect trip, as took advantage of just a chaotic race there. And that one still was a good run there by Scythian. So do have a winner here at least coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's something that is on a winning streak, and for Bill Mott, I mean, for me, it just came down to, again, it's New York. It's you broke the maiden 2 starts back. Impressive, not a bad win, but lightly raced. Just doesn't have the experience. Doesn't have the race experience compared to a lot of these contenders. I think it's a big advantage, that experience.
All right, Manny Franco, he's on 43-1, totally justified here in this one. Coming in from Keeneland out of the Jessamine Stakes there. In this one, and had a rough start in that race actually, but actually steadied there and looked pretty decent, maybe moving up here, but 43-1. Virgin Colada here, 21-1 right now for Flavian Pratt and Chad Brown. Maybe piques interest for those looking to close up some bets here with that favorite, or however you want to look at it. Maybe Virgin Colada here can stand a chance.
Sounds like a good drink, right?
Came in from the spa. Maybe that's what I should be toasting here with you to keep a focused head. But again, you do have Chad Brown. Like I said, he's won this race 6 times, including last year. So there's got to be a little something to that, Keith, quite honestly, with Virgin Colada and Chad Brown.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Brown he doesn't have it as strong as a crop. I mean, for me, Virgin Colada, I know you have a top jockey aboard here, and a lot of disappointing, burned a lot of money in these kind of stakes races in New York. So second. Now, I know broke the main there at Saratoga, but going to have to really step up. I mean, 20-1, little money on that horse, though, because 20-1 morning line didn't float up at all.
Yeah, and here is Heaven's Gate, an Irish bred next, as we mentioned, definitely right there in the figures there at 20-1. Kilwin here, you mentioned, is 14-1 currently. Outside of her is, I better get, this is a good chance for me to say these names one time here, Keith, right? Abian Tot.
Oh, you're better than me, exactly.
Yeah,
I said that if I was ever a horse analyst, like on media, like on television, I would need people to coach me, like how to actually pronounce these names. I would just say, just like the UFC, like you got to use initials at that point.
Right.
Oh yeah, but they're in the paddock here at least. That's good.
Oh, great. Yeah, and a lot of times, with these horses, maybe they're more known to those track announcers, but sometimes the track announcers end up just making the pronunciation up, and it just sticks.
I've talked to a couple of them, Ramon. They actually get the notes before. They want to make sure they're right. And I agree. I mean, you don't want to mess it up. Exactly.
Contact every ownership group when you're calling some, some races.
Social media is good for that.
You don't want to do anybody. Yeah, you don't want to do anybody a disservice there on
right, because it's kind of a little. It's not. You don't mean to be disrespectful, but exactly.
No doubt about it, and it's part of the great. That's one of the great things in this game, actually. And funny, you talk about some we'll see later on, some of these ownership groups, Keith, and we know that one of the My Racehorse groups has a real good qualifier here in this this weekend, and more and more opening up to that where you can have micro stakes, and I think that's some of the fun. Maybe we'll be in the winner's circle next year, Keith. Maybe we could get one of these.
I talked to somebody at Parks last year, Ramon. He said to me, if my horse gets in the winner's circle, you guys, like it was me and the other people near me, he's like, you guys are getting in the winner's circle. Get this, Ramon. His horse was 46-1 and came in second. and he bought us a round. He's like, you know what? I'll just buy you guys a round. I was like, that was a cool guy.
And
But we were that close to getting the winner's circle, 46-1.
And the general public can totally get involved now with some of these ownership groups, and we'll see.
Oh yeah.
My
I mean, if
racehorse
it brings more excitement in the winner's circle, I mean, you see it with like straight no chaser. If that horse wins, you're gonna see the biggest. I was at Parks for the Seize the Gray won the Parks Derby. That was the biggest winner's circle. I wasn't in it, but it was the biggest winner's circle I've seen ever in person.
Okay, well, we'll have to win a few races here and get in on some of these. Races. All right, I'm going to be on Lake Victoria. I'm pretty sure here. I'm just trying to figure out how to. I want to make a good prognostication. I think it's going to be hard, very, very hard to beat this horse in this field. So I don't know. I think thought process for me, you talk about rallying the troops a little bit. That's what Little Red Feather does out here on the West Coast. They got a little bit of an ownership group that invites some people in, not through an app or a website too much. Right. Or anything. Can actually with them, but they're a popular group certainly for the last I don't know, seems like 15 or 20 years now. They've been going at it since they first started out here, captivating the attention of race fans in the West Coast. But I don't know, for me, I just see I just gravitate towards the Irish bred here in this race. I think I didn't even look at too deeply there, but I like Heaven's Gate as well, as I mentioned, I think for my other choice there. So maybe 1, 7, 8 here a little bit. Maybe I can cover some of these other numbers here though real quick.
There was one more horse I wanted to mention if you have a moment here, Ramon, and we have 13 minutes. Is the number 10, and I just put it in the chat. So those are the 4 horses. Yeah, Ibiatas. If I'm saying that right, you did better than me.
Ibiatas. He was at the Big A there, right? But didn't.
You mentioned this horse. I mean, this is a Cassie horse, and Mark Cassie's. I mean, the actual Cassie, this trainer, has had a good 2-year-old crop. Very good 2-year-old crop right now for Cassie. So this is a horse that he won the matron and the pedigree. I did a little search on the pedigree here with this horse, but I mean, the bettors are just 61-1 from a 30-1 morning line. So those are my plays. I mean, of course, I'm on Lake Victoria. I think top pick here, but those are my underneath plays. You know what I'm going to do, Ramon? I'm going to do an exacta key box with those horses. So the one has to finish first or second, but I'm actually going to use those other horses underneath in exacta.
All right, Joe T will be joining us here on the show a little bit. We'll bring in a little more talent here and maybe get some other opinions, maybe some picks here from the crew. And you see Keith's picks there right now. Also, while Keith's doing that, I'll also talk here a little bit more. Yeah, we got a few more horses to at least give their name and a little bit of background about them here. A few more long shots, if you will, with Fiery Lucy here. Bred in Great Britain, Gary Carroll aboard for Gavin Cromwell here in this one. Actually rates pretty high also in the Equibase figures here. It looks like to me, Fiery Lucy here comes in out of the Weld Park at the Curragh. Got a second place finish there. Finished second in 3 consecutive stakes races in Ireland. Lost twice to Heaven's Gate, coming in at a little bit of a rough go in that race there, but still finished second in the Weld Park. Mayday Ready is 13-1. You'd mentioned.
I like this horse.
Yeah, Mayday Ready here, unbeaten and a little bit wild there in the Jessamine, as mentioned, but certainly can maybe work some room out there from the outside, not have as much difficulty here for Frankie Dettori. You mentioned it. You mentioned her. Also,
yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, yeah, just one more thing on Mayday Ready, as the horses are on the track now, is that I really see that this horse now, this is what I said is, are we going to break the Kentucky Downs curse here? I think it might happen. There's a couple of horses today that these horses are like 0 for 83, something like that. That's the number that's going around Twitter. There's a couple of horses from Kentucky Downs that are actually in decent form. This is one of them. And taking money, 13-1, good connections. You got Frankie aboard right here. Now, the only concern is obviously the post, right? I mean, this post is not ideal. I think that this, Frankie, I prefer Frankie Dettori to be on a horse that's inside. But if this horse can work a trip, I think can really factor in the end.
And a couple more to the outside here is Vixen coming in from Woodbine here and almost scored in there in her last race. And we'll see how she fares here currently at 25 to 1 or so.
We
And
got 30.
another Irish spread here on the outside is Anshoda here coming out of the Mayhill at Doncaster. Let's see, probably overmatched here, but Joel Rosario is aboard for Anshoda here. And I think that's a look at the field here for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf $1 million stakes race coming up here, trying to beat a 3-5 favorite in Lake Victoria.
Gonna be tough. I think this is gonna be, like I said before, this is one of the horses, the most popular singles horses. The single horse means like in a horizontal play, pick 3. It actually could be a double, pick 3, pick 4, and so on. These pools are massive this weekend. And if you're right, I mean, you got to single this horse. You had immersive last race. So it's a telling sign, like I was saying, it's 5 to 1 on the double for immersive to pay to Lake Victoria this race. So that's really telling. Huge, a lot of money poured in.
All right, I think Joe's loaded up and ready to go, and we're going to bring him
right. Give him an intro or something.
Joe T. Join. Does he have an intro? I don't know if I'm ready to go with all the bells and whistles back here. We barely got on the air, but we want to thank Mike Money for the beautiful layout that we got.
That's awesome.
Professional looking appearance here, and well, maybe gives us a little bit of credibility here, Keith. We can't pick these horses here a little bit, but to bring on Joe here and say hello to him. Thank you. Nice to see you, Joe, and thank you. He's getting ready to fire here. It feels like. I'm sorry you had to catch us here with this one, but maybe we'll try to find. Maybe Joe can bring us a little bit of long shot luck here, Keith, and we'll see if Joe can grab us a price horse here, or are you going to fade this favorite?
I want to hear this. I want to hear it.
I'm not the big horse. I like the straps, right? Like a Mikey, but I just did
running aces guy.
I kind of go by, you guys are, I don't do a lot of research, right? I just read the program.
Yeah.
Look at the past performances, stuff like that. I like the 7. So I threw a win play show bet on the 7.
Ramon 7.
So
yeah, it's my second choice here in this one. So we'll see. Moving down here to 5 to 1, actually, guys.
Wow, it's big money.
Oh yeah. If anything,
the 2 kind of intrigued me too. But
okay, yeah, we talked about this horse. Inexperienced from Woodbine, but you never know, could pop up.
Yeah, you mentioned for Mark Cassie here, certainly got to be a factor here at a 1 mile distance on the turf, despite bringing in a little bit of an outsider here in nitrogen. So I think we covered all of those. All the entries here. We're just about 7 minutes away from post time here at Delmar with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, sponsored by John Deere, $1 million purse here in this one. And again, I'm taking this favorite. I don't know what else I can do, so I'm just going to talk
about
that
kind of race. I think, yeah, it's a tough one.
Mentioned here, I don't, think respectfully, I can fade this one.
I think you either have to take the 1 or really spread. I mean, you can't include the 1 in spread. That's, as a horse player, I mean, you just got to move on with the 1. You got to make a decision. I mean, Lake Victoria is just coming out of these races on fire right now and producing. So I think this horse is going to get the trip too. I don't mind the 1 post at all.
Yeah. One thing about the 7, Joe, is I'll just say you're on the home team there for sure with the guys there at Little Red Feather Racing. I mean, this is kind of where they made their claim here a little bit many years ago, and they've had some modest success as well. If you're here, you've had some success here certainly. So all right, just about 5 minutes away from post time here. Thank you to everybody.
Oh yeah, thank you everybody. Yeah,
Yep.
we got to the 30 likes, so gonna do a shot for that. And then yeah, everybody, appreciate the support here. Everybody going back and forth with their plays. So let's go.
Nasty Nate says he needs a horse here to tail, but like I said, I've got to think the favorite is very, very solid here in this one with Lake Victoria, with Coolmore. You said it, Joe. I mean, here's the thing, Joe. The reason why I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it, when I heard Keith's enthusiasm for something like this, I don't think I could get it a word in edgewise the other night when we had our pre-show meeting, and the one day of coverage evolved into the second day of coverage. Here, I was going to try to give him a chance to get out of it, but when I felt his enthusiasm. But here's the thing, I think, Joe, about this, and I'm just good. We did this almost on a whim to a certain extent, but for me, as an experienced fan of horse racing, not having really followed the crop here a little bit, yeah, you hear the names, and I try to watch the feature race every day. But the one thing for me about the Breeders' Cup that I can get into is when I look down at these races, to me, I'm looking more at storylines, like I said, with the breeding groups themselves. I mean, that's what this is almost like a big private gathering of elite breeders, quite frankly, and they have their own little tournament, their own little meet here for 2 days, and they have these championship races. You don't have, as I was explaining to Keith, not explaining to, Keith, we know, Joe, you don't have that Cinderella story like you see on the NBC sometimes, the Triple Crown coverage where they're like, oh, this horse was a family-owned horse out of the farm, and oh my gosh, it's just amazing.
Tough, yeah.
You don't get that here. I mean, with these horses, the value of one quote-unquote date with one of these horses is about as much as my net worth. To get these horses bred. So really, that's why these guys can come in here with those short results here, if you will, just a couple of races sometimes for some of these contenders, and they still are competing at the highest level in the world because all the owners come along and kind of have their little tournament here. Here comes some picks from the chat, guys.
Okay, good luck. Yeah.
Break these down a little bit here with Razor.
Oh, yeah, Razor. There you go. You nailed it. I shouted you out after, so shout out to you. I did a shot, so cheers.
Looking here at the long shot here, Coretta. I think this is what that means, right? With Coretta would be Corretto to upset here with Ruiz for motion here. If you can stun that one, you're going to get a nice payoff here, about 24-1 with a 70-1 beating that favorite here. And also,
all right, there's Razor's picks.
1-6.
He's got that one in there with
two of my horses. There you go.
Virgin Colada here, right? And Mayday Ready. And Smoke and Mirrors also. He's got a box here. Keith, I don't know. Would you do a box here with that one in there? You got that two. Again, there's a second.
I did exacta key box, actually, Ramon. Just in case. Yep. So I feel like if I can get the exacta straight, that would probably at least profit. But the exacta key box, so I actually have the 1 over the 9, 10, 12 exacta key box. That means that the 1 has to finish first or second. So I'm keying the 1 in an exacta. So I'm taking a little bit of a hit buying that kind of box, but it's not a full box because the 1 has to actually finish first or second. That's 3 to 5. But if for some reason, if the 1 finishes second and one of my prices finishes on top, I'm going to get really paid. But even if the 1 wins and one of my prices are under, still profit, hopefully.
All right, we're starting to load in here, guys. Joe, you ready for you ready to do the race call, Joe?
No.
You throw them into the fire. Here you go. That's it.
All right, I'll move me to the middle. I'll get ready.
I like your race
call.
call.
By the way, everybody, Ramon's killing it with these horse race calls. So. And I know Razor does it too, so both of you guys are killing it.
Yeah, they're loading up here. Also, Fiery Lucy looks really good here in the walk-up here, 45-1. But boy, she looks incredible here as I see them loading up here a little bit, Keith. Wow, she looks nice. This Cromwell
right.
horse. He hasn't really Cromwell here looking to make a splash here in this one. Look at Fiery Lucy. I see her going in there. Wow. I'm going to throw her in here last minute. I'm not going to put it in, but I'm going to call her
Don't
out
get
right
shut
now.
out. Exactly.
Looking really good. All right.
Oh,
Just
good for
about
you.
all set. Yeah. Here comes Vixen into the gate.
It's going to be a
And
good race.
Yoda here. We're all in the gate. Fields sent on their way in the Juvenile Fillies turf. Corretto comes out smoking here a little bit. Lake Victoria is going to get involved in the pace and thought process. Kilwin's going to be out there as well. Totally Justified's out there, and to the outside, I see horses wide here on this mile. Thought process is out there on the early lead. Kilwin is on the outside. There's Corretto third. Heaven's Gate is a couple of lengths back there. Also Vixen, and there's Lake Victoria. Moore is posting her up to try to get some space here. Justify, let's see. Oh, lost my train. Totally Justified. Think of Justified there, guys. Shota trails way back. They went 22-5 here. Barrios and Thought Process has the lead. Kilwin on the outside here. Corretto is along the rail. Lake Victoria also is looking to make up 5 lengths. Then you've got a bunch of horses back here. Here they come. They're coming down towards the stretch. Thought Process and Kilwin. Lake Victoria. Here comes Lake Victoria starting to make a big move on the outside. 7. But it's still Thought Process. But Lake Victoria's moving. Thought Process. There's a little bit of a rally here. Why? Totally Justified, but it's going to be Lake Victoria here, and followed by, Lake Victoria. Mayday Ready got up second there in that one, Keith. Mayday Ready got second.
Let's go.
Woo, that was hectic for me, but Lake Victoria, you didn't have to be a race caller to call that one, guys. Wow, again, Lake Victoria here, total champion in this one.
Class prevailed there, and I just hit the 24-1 exacta. So let's go. My first hit here on Sports Money, and
the boss is
Mike
here.
himself joined. So let's go. It's shot time. You joined 24-1 exacta.
Nice work, boys. How's it going?
Let's go. We're having fun. How was pre-gaming, Mike?
Pre-gaming was pre-gaming. We got through it. We got some plays out there. We're trying to get some winners. All good stuff. All good stuff.
Oh, it's awesome.
How are we doing here? We're making some money.
We just saw
that was the first one right there for me. 24-1 exacta.
Let's go.
Not bad.
I picked 2 of the 3 winners as well, but it wasn't hard here with the quality of these horses. Like this 3-5 shot just came home looking very much the best here right now. But Keith definitely was accentuating here the number 2 finisher here, Mayday Ready. Also shout out the chat. They were talking about Nitrogen here a little bit.
Great call.
Here with Ortiz for Cassie. So they got third here in this one, but what a great trip. I mean, totally cool trip there. Felt like just a perfect ride there, Keith, quite frankly, for Ryan Moore and O'Brien. Going to take home another trophy.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it. I mean, this horse just total class, and 3-5. I mean, the sire's Frankel. So, I mean, we've seen Frankel, and then the Dam, too, was a winner. So, I mean, the Dam, so just great pedigree there. I mean, you saw this horse was making the middle move. Once this horse got off the rail, got to the outside, tipped to the outside, it was all over. I was rooting for your 7 a little bit there, Joe, but unfortunately, I think the one just went right past.
Yeah, in fact,
Joe T here. I thought I had to put him on the back of the milk.
Guys, Keith, Fiery Lucy was the 4th place finisher there in that one. And sorry, Well, my first call, Mike, the other two, I did a lot better job, boss. So that one, I got a little stumble there, and I may have mixed up there. Keith,
No, you nailed it.
He knew Mayday Ready was that horse moving up there. I was so thrilled with Lake Victoria's stride there in the end. What a really classy there, full class there. Coolmore stable horse here for Moore and O'Brien. Moore here, and they going to own these here a little bit. That's what I said, Mike, about these races today. Is what you're going to get to me. The royalty, the usual suspects win at the Breeders' Cup, and I think that's what we've seen so far, at least in the last two races, and maybe to a certain extent in the first race as well.
All right, I heard you say that at the start of the show. You like the royalty aspects of these games here, and can't fault it. I certainly can't disagree. This being the World Championships, that's exactly what you're going to get. And how about what we get? We get a little razor sharp picks in the chat. My guy,
I feel bad. Like Razor's here, is his family there? Remember, we had to make up a big, excuse not to do the coverage here with us. And I don't know if he heard me the first time, so I just say, you had tweeted out an invite for everyone. Thanks to everyone. We got 86 viewers here. You tweeted out an invite to join us, and Razor said, "Yeah, but if I could just get you to come on Razor Sharp Picks." I was going to respond, Mike, with, "Hey, I only do $1 million races, okay, on the screen here with you guys." And, Razor's down there, you and Razor hawking it on Mondays and Tuesdays there. So, anyways, shout out Razor. I hope he's not taking too much away from his family time here on vacation, and we'll see him here soon. So, getting the prices here. We saw asking about the prices. Let me cover the coverage here for the last race here, guys. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf with Lake Victoria on top, paying $3.40, $3 to place. You could have, been on the conservative side and come out just as nearly there with the big win pool there, taking it all. You got a better return actually in the place money, not more money wise, but considering the pools there. Also, Mayday Ready, $7.80 to play, $6 to show, and Nitrogen paid $15.20. The $1 Exacta paid $24.70, 50-cent try, $2.54, 10-cent Superfecta, $6.87 was the payoff there, and the Super High Five carryover here of $36,082.34 as Kilwin finished fifth here in the race. The daily double paid $5.10, as Keith told us it would. And the pick 50-cent pick 3 paid $58.35 for this 3-5 winner here on top in the race here. Lake Victoria, the Irish bred, scores here on Future Stars Friday. So thanks you to everybody in the chat as well. DJ Hardy here tonight. He's already thinking he wants to talk a little puck here, but we're focused on our horse racing, Mike, and thank you for joining us over here. And after your show, we still got 2 more big races here tonight. And of course, the sports action just getting underway here. We're going to move the banner. Go ahead, sir. We got this is our race coming up. We got our second $2 million purse here coming up momentarily.
Shout out DJ Hardy says finally won a race with a boost at plus 110. Shout out to you, DJ Hardy. Nicholas Handy says Rangers goal. It was Panarin. And there's Grandma. Give me a little shout out. Let's go. Maybe she's talking about you, Ramon. I don't know.
Well, yeah. No, I keep my little. I always say, why don't you cut that? I say, hey, I try to grow hair where I can. So I mean, no, I can't control it. I don't think so. All right, yeah, we've had a great time so far through the first 3 races. I'm glad you got a chance to catch that last one, but really the time is flying by here with Keith, as I knew it would. Here with our coverage today, Keith. Hard to believe we've already got 3 races down here.
Crazy.
Delmar.
I was just thinking that when I was coming back. I mean, we're late daily double time, so as I said before, it's just it's just the appetizer. Good, very good appetizer till tomorrow. But appreciate everybody tuning in. I mean, we had over 75 likes before between Twitter and YouTube, so I see the chat moving now. So let us know who you like here next race. Yeah,
we'll get ready for the $2 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile, the second of $2 million purses here today. Of course, it all leads up to tomorrow with our big race, the Breeders' Cup Classic, $7 million purse, and the $5 million mile at a race as well. So should be awesome there. The turf race, you know what I mean. But got a great field coming up here for this one with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Mike, this is the one that they always say the winner of this race often ends up the favorite in the Kentucky Derby. And you got, Pletcher's won here the last 2 years, guys, with Fierceness, with Forte here, but no entry this year for Pletcher. So we'll see how it opens up. You're going to have a strong favorite here for my team, Keith, with the Godolphin horse East Avenue here, right? And we'll let you get into it here a little bit. I think I wrapped up all the prices while you were gone, so
thanks.
Got it there. But if you want to talk about your play there as well before we get into the next one, good job.
Yeah, I mean, it was, been pretty formful, right? The last 2 races, the chalk is kind of won, but for me, it was, I'm going to box a couple of horses here, see if I can create some value. Now, I like the number 10, Chancer McPatrick here. I mean, I see the pace from, East Avenue. Obviously, that's going to be my second pick. I'll get to that horse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, East Avenue and Getaway Car. I see Getaway Car showing more speed than expected. So maybe that could kind of hinder a little bit the 1 here, East Avenue. Still think the East Avenue is obviously going to put away the 2. But what's going to be left for the 10 at that point? Chancer McPatrick. This horse, Belmont at Aqueduct, this horse made a big move, gobbled up a ton of ground, made that middle move. I love that middle move. And then Flavian Pratt rides back. You got the horse here. Now, I think Gaming, the number 7, this horse is going to show speed too. I'm not going to use that horse. I think that horse is going to be a nice sprinter one day, number 7. Not this distance, though. So Circle Gaming in the future, the son of game winner. Actually bet him in the Kentucky Derby game winner. But, Gaming, circle that horse. I don't think this is the distance for that horse, but more of a sprinter. So toss number 7 for me. Number 3, number 1, East Avenue is my second pick, as you just mentioned. Gliding over this track. I mean, I've heard a lot of handicappers, a lot of people say this horse is gliding over the Delmar track. So you have to consider the 1 as a single possibly. But I like the 10 also, so I'm 10-1. But for me, I like Jonathan's Way also. And if the price is right, I might put a little win bet on this horse too. So the 5-1 right now, this horse could get a trip. Won from off the pace at 6 furlongs and then wired them at Churchill. So I like the versatility there. These young horses that could win both ways. So for the 5 for me, I mean, Vacoma, this sire of this horse, the number 5, is off to a roaring start. Vacoma is 30% with first-time starters. Now, I know this isn't a first-time starter, but that's the crop that's growing, Vacoma. So the 5 is a big player here, I think, Jonathan's Way. So I am actually just kind of a little chalky here, unfortunately. I am 110-5. I'm going to box him.
Let me shout out our guy, Charlie Bradshaw. That was excellent breakdown. My guy.
Joe's
wow.
Shout out
Keith, I'm already like, I'll take it for granted that Keith just rolled off a terrific analysis. Joe's floored by a terrific job there by Keith. Certainly, Jonathan.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking to someone maybe to put in here for me with East Avenue. For me, I think
Charlie, cheers.
In this one, Keith, with East Avenue, won the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland, of course. It comes in perfect, really not even tested in those couple of races, but got to overcome this one post. So I think that's what I'm looking for with Gaffleone and Walsh here with Gaffleone here aboard to kind of guide me out of there. I like Getaway Car, but at this 25-1 out of the 2 hole on this mile and a 16th race. I think that might be a little bit tough here, especially if you're going to end up with a horse that's looking to break well like the 1 does. So how will it affect Getaway Car? Couldn't beat Citizen Bull there, finished second in that race at Santa Anita. And you mentioned Jonathan's Way here in the Iroquois looked solid there in that win, and also looked a little shaky to break that maiden, but still looked very, very strong to win there. For Citizen Bull, did win that American Pharaoh certainly, and has looked good. But again, you got the Baffert asterisk for me, not going to be able to qualify for a win here in my book. I'm looking to East Avenue here in this one. I'm on probably some chalk here again, but chalk's just scored twice right now. What do you think, Mike? It's a beautiful day out here in Delmar. In fact, boss, Keith and I, we got to break the news to you. You're on the air with your show, but next year we're going to be on site, and we're going to send you the
we were talking about it.
Hotel accommodations and all that. We're not
Ubers, all it is exactly.
Well, I want to shout out DJ Hardy for takes a person to recognize where they're inefficient, and that's what we're here for, man. He says, I don't know anything about horse racing, but that was the idea here, getting these boys together here, best in the business, to give you guys breakdowns, in-depth analysis. Ramon is a jack of all trades, a man of many mysteries, and Keith is dynamite with his detail out there. So shout out to you and everybody coming in here, rocking with us, hanging out. Shout out to Joe T, gifting that Sports Money membership. I'll tell you where I'm going to go with this battle. I like that one. I like Tyler Gaff. That's my guy from the get-go. East Ave. I'm a Ty Gaff dude to begin with.
Okay.
As I was looking down the line, I'm flip-flopped here. I want to take the 6 and the 7. I want to get into this Baffert business here. Martin Garcia with the 10. 10-1 on the 6. Can be a little track favorite out there, no doubt about it, but kind of that to me feels like the longer shot. Irad and Baffert. Baffert and Irad teaming up is where I want to get involved with as well. I just don't know. I could certainly get down with that Flavian Pratt, Chad Brown barn. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with the 1, 7, and 10. I'm going to try to take a little price out of this thing here. 1, 7, and 10. Baffert also has the getaway car. You guys mentioned Juan Hernandez up there in the 2 spot. So Baffert has loaded up this track. I'm going to go to Irad though. He's not putting Irad on a mule.
He's due, actually. Irad's due on the big day, Mike, so you might be onto some.
If Bob can't score here, guys, I mean, I don't know, but, I guess you could throw in a little bit.
I mentioned this horse, yeah. I think this horse is going to be a great sprinter one day, gaming. I'm not sold that this horse wants the distance, so I'm going to let him beat me on this one. But, I mean, this horse is working very well, impressive winner. And then, Irad and Bob, I mentioned before in my analysis, Bob Baffert is actually only 1 for 18 at the Breeders' Cup recently in the last couple of years. So Bob Baffert's more of like he cleans up more on the California races rather than the Breeders' Cup.
Well, he's obviously geared up here, and he'd like to score. Of course, we'd like to score every time, but he's obviously making it a point here with this field, with this track, with this course. You mentioned gaming didn't run in the American Pharaoh. But I think beat Citizen Bull, right? As a win over Citizen Bull. So, those horses there have that local flair here. We'll go over some of the others as well. You mentioned Chancer McPatrick here with
my middle name now, Ramon. Exactly.
With Pratt and Brown here. Mike mentioned a little bit too, undefeated, and I would think probably would be well acclimated to going around for first time around 2 turns. I don't think it was a problem for Chancellor McPatrick coming out of the Champagne at the Big A there. So you'll see though, Chancellor McPatrick, going to have to come from off the pace, and we've seen at the Breeders' Cup before. Great runs, certainly from off the pace. We'll see if Chancellor McPatrick can duplicate some of the great Breeders' Cup runs that we've seen that I'm thinking of, certainly. But again, the last to first running style for Chancellor McPatrick here as well. So cover the field here, 21 minutes to post. Their horses are being saddled up right now in the paddock here at Delmar. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining.
Thank you, Joe T, for the gift. Thank you. Support.
Yeah, we're on.
I'll tell you what, boys. I'm going to celebrate Joe T's gifted membership, and I'm going to thank everybody for coming out here. You guys on screen, This is so exciting for me. This is the first time we've gotten our foot into the horse racing pond, if you will. And I'll tell you what, the water feels warm, boys. You guys are doing a great job. I'm fired up for this thing. I know we've been talking about it backstage for a couple of days, and I'm glad we're here. So thank you guys on screen for doing this. And thank you guys in the chat for hanging out, rocking with us here. I'm fired up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be huge. Cheers. Let's go, Mike.
And we'll be here tomorrow as well for the 9-race card, including the Breeders' Cup Classic and the Breeders' Cup Turf and some other great races as well at the World Championships at Del Mar. So appreciate you coming by, Mike, and checking up on us. And we're having a very good time so far today.
The boss is in town. Exactly. No, I mean, I love,
in doubt. You boys got excited about doing this, and I was like, sign me up. Let's go. Let's make this happen.
Thank you, my man.
I'm jacked up for it.
Yeah, the horses are in the paddock. They're just, they've schooled this. I mean, they do a great job. They call it breeders, breakfast at the breeders. So these horses all school. They do this routine for days, going through the same thing. So now, hopefully they don't act up. And they're doing the same thing right now. They don't have the riders on them quite yet, but they're just circling kind of in the paddock. Everybody's looking good.
Oh, it's a wonderful paddock there, certainly at Del Mar, and a tunnel leads right up through the entries there with the crowd on top of them and out onto the great track here in North San Diego area here, just about 20 minutes north of downtown. Beautiful Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. I know some people say it backwards, and some people say, "Hey, don't say it right." But you know what? They don't really mind. Just say it. But it's where the turf meets the surf. So, hey, I want to shout out. Of course, I have to shout out my Dixie Wrecked in the chat. Good to have you, Dixie, here.
Oh, very good.
As well here, and there's Mike's picks here in this one.
Oh, cool.
Until you phonetically broke it down, Ramon, I was saying it wrong my whole time.
That's right. Careful. Careful there with that one. Keith, thank you also for donating memberships here to our crew. Great to have you.
Let's go. Yeah. I see Mike putting shots and picks in. So let's go. Cheers.
We got the man here, Keith, bringing us the analysis, and Mike and Joe T joining us as well. And we'll get ready to cover the rest of the field here now. We've talked about some of the favorites, but let's include now a few more contenders here, Keith. Maybe we get a comment or two on some of these, including 80-1 here on Hill Road with Rispoli here aboard. Came out of the National at the Curragh, but runs 7th there. So you're going to have an Irish bred trying the dirt here a little bit, but half sister to City of Light that won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, but long shot here at 80-1.
Yeah, I mean, I would say with this, with this 3-horse here, Hill Road, circle this horse though, because City of Light gets better as they go on, but it's not going to be this race. I mean, it's going to be, they're just trying to experiment right now, the connections, but circle this horse. City of Light, as they get older, do better.
Ferocious is number 4 here at 10-1. Could attract some interest here. Ferocious coming out of the Breeders' Futurity, finished 2nd in that race at Keeneland. Looked good to break the maiden at Saratoga, but then kind of failed there a little bit as a chalk play. But here you're going to get her at 10-1. So a little bit there. Let's see here with Ferocious, right?
This is actually the half sibling of Fierceness. So that's the name right there. Ferocious right there. So we're going to see Fierceness in the Classic. Listen, this horse has got a shot, but I had to make a decision. I mean, it's just something that I had to make a decision. And then, 9-1 from a 6-1 morning line. Bettors are not really sold either. I'm going to pass now. This horse could have potential. A little green, though. This horse has been green and going into the gate. So this horse has a little learning to do.
All right, and you mentioned Jonathan's Way, currently 16-1.
Love this
Citizen
horse.
Bull, 13-1. Yeah, you want to add more on Jonathan's Way here a little bit? Like I said, impressive in the Iroquois, but good price here right now, 9-1.
I'm gonna make a win bet too. I have the exacta box I put in the chat, but this horse could win off the pace. I mean, win off the pace at 6 furlongs, which is
6-1.
nice. So the young horses that can win off the pace at a short distance, that's good. And then also wired them at Churchill. So I like the versatility there a little bit. Something with Vacoma, like as I said before, this sire is on fire right now. I think this horse could get the trip. If he's going to have to pass East Avenue at the end, though, that's going to be the big ask. So, I mean, for me, it's going to be one of those horses. I think Chancer McPatrick's going to be right there. So let's go.
I'm looking at the 5 right now in the stall. So also we talked a little bit about Citizen Bull as well as gaming. So next up would be the 8 horse Shin Believe, going to be the Japanese entry. It feels like here at 32-1. Does have some good equibase numbers here that would apparently make it a competitor here with Utakatake aboard here, but it is a U.S. bred
Right.
here and looked impressive in a mile and an eighth in Japan and won his last outing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a son to Constitution, but I mean, for me, it's I could get there from just from a betting standpoint. I mean, 10-1 morning line was very shocking to me on this horse. That's too low. Honestly, it was too low. It should have been at least 15. I mean, 20-1. It should have been 20-1. It was 10-1, 32-1 currently right now. I'm gonna pass.
All right, long shot players. This is, I think this is our first plus 99-1 shot here on the card so far. Will be Ikora Azell here. Another entry here. Akira Sugawara on board here. Hideki Yuki has 2 entries in this field for Ikoro Azell. Didn't have a chance of raced against American Bikini in Japan, has never gone this distance, only gone 7 furlongs so far. So coming out of a 5th place finish in Japan. So appropriate odds here. But if you're looking for that long shot, this one, the longest shot in the field of any of the races that we've covered here so far. East Avenue up to 8-5 here a little bit. I think that's a pretty decent price for me. It's going to be my top choice. I know you guys threw in a few others, but I'm going to go up top here with East Avenue here. As Mike said, I think for having Gaffaleone. And, of course, Godolphin's already scored here. Didn't want to bury my angle a little bit on this one, Keith, but Godolphin scored already, so I'm going to try him.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it's going to be a Godolphin weekend, and then we'll see about Japan, and then I think Aiden's Army has a couple of horses too.
Joe's firing some harness action here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Little bow hawk action, so good luck, Joe.
Bread and butter. Not really. I mean,
You're running
you
aces,
guys
boy.
are the horse guys.
That's it.
I'm just here. It's been a while since I've been on stream.
So how was Vegas, Joe? It must have been a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It didn't.
Oh, good for you.
I think this time it felt we went from Monday to Friday night, and I thought it would be a little long, like it felt longer, but we were in a downtown, so we weren't drinking and.
So about the
listening to
hotel
the
you stay
music
at too,
till
right?
2:00 in the morning. So then you get up, so we actually went to bed at a reasonable time and got up.
Oh, good.
So it didn't feel like you're just dragging, right? So it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go about it with vacations, right? I mean, if you party all the time, you're just for blocks on a day, you're going to be dragging.
I still think Ramon's the luckiest guy to live in Vegas, except for when it's 120.
I know.
But
He told me we were doing all this prep work, and Ramon's like, well, I'm in Vegas, so it's a different time. So there you go. Yeah, we are Eastern 5:30 today. But shout out to you, Ramon. being in Vegas.
I wouldn't stand you up, Joe. I just don't go out much. I mean, you guys have me stuck here in the satellite studios here in Las Vegas. I have to do a show every day. So when am I going to go out late at night and hang out with you guys and then try to come back? I'll hook up with you guys soon enough. Lee Mathis in the chat saying, I don't think we've hit a big one today, but we've definitely had some cashers here so far.
24 to 1, not bad.
We've had chalk here, 2 out of 3, and I'm rolling again with chalk here in this race. I mean, look, I don't want to be too. I think I might have, warned.
This was a chalkier day.
Right. Well, I might have warned you, Keith. I was going to be coming in on some of the, what's worked before at the Breeders' Cup, and like I said to Joe too, I think in the Breeders' Cup. You don't see those. This is where the form holds true in most cases. Not going to get a lot of bombs here, quite frankly. There, although we got a little scare there in that last.
Yeah, we got the 12 to 1 earlier, but then ever since that, it's been all chalk. 3 races in a row, it's been chalk.
Oh yeah, come on, look at that winner, Keith. I mean, that was no 12 to 1 horse by the time it felt like there in that first race, Mike. We did have a 12 to 1 winner come home in the opener. Keith had mentioned, and I had mentioned as well, Magnum Force, an Irish bred score, 27.
Ramon, you mentioned that horse a couple of times. Oh, damn.
Yeah, it didn't look 12 to 1 right when it crossed the wire there, beating the likes of Arizona Blaze.
Oh, that was my price horse. So yeah, my price horse came in second. Damn.
But then we had Immersive come home in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, paid just $6 to win. And then last race, Lake Victoria here at paid $3.40 to win and $3 to place. East Avenue currently taking the majority of the attention here. But look at this on the 10 here, guys. Chancellor McPatrick now just 5 to 2. That's below its money line.
Big money.
Morning
I would
line
play so bad too.
That's because Mike released it there with Pratt and Brown a little bit.
Hey, the book's got to adjust to Mike. Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind here a little bit looking at Chancellor McPatrick here. Like I said, I just wonder about with this field and how that speed is going to work out. Will there be enough race course left for Chancellor McPatrick?
That's the thing.
Flying off the pace and not able to save any ground here. Certainly can get a clean break.
The outside post. Exactly, Ramon. I think as a betting standpoint from the beginning of the card, you just say, I'm not going to take any of these favorites from like 9 or 10 on. And then a lot of the times you're probably right. But because it's so speed favoring inside, that's the thing with this Breeders' Cup in Delmar. They soup the track so much. But I think that we're seeing a little bit more off the pace. So hopefully the 10, can really save a little ground, not be too wide.
Thank you, Trisha.
There you go, Trisha.
There, I think Smoke and Mirrors also has an exact.
Oh, there's Ferocious. Yeah.
Smoke is a little 145 here in this one. So I'll have East Avenue on top. I'm going to keep with Getaway Car here. I'll try the inside Baffert horse, I think, here with Hernandez. In this one. And, well, I don't know. I like what I'm seeing.
Wow, you're going with the other Baffert, right? The other Bob over the gaming.
The one race where maybe that I'm actually trying to go against what I've said here a little bit. I want a little bit.
The other Bob has an ROI that's through the roof. So cheers.
Well, I do want to try some local flavor here somewhere. I mean, obviously.
Horse is going to show speed, Ramon. So you're onto something.
Yeah, we'll see about how that speed holds up. 6 minutes here from post time for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Here, a lead up to the 3-year-old season next year. You'll also often, like I said, see the winner here be favored in next year's race. Fierceness, of course, won this race last year. But like I said, no entry for Todd Pletcher in this field this time around. Here, he also trained Forte, the previous winner of the Juvenile.
Yeah, you got the brother of Fierceness in this field, though. The number 4, as I know, so Trisha included. I mean, this horse has talent, so it could, it's a little headstrong, though. That's the only reason with this horse. Little headstrong, kind of makes his own problems, but we'll see what happens here. Little experience here at the Breeders' Cup.
Javier Castellano atop Ferocious for Gustavo Delgado here in this one. Also taking a look right now, Gaming has moved here to 9-2, so certainly taking
Big
some
money.
With Irad Ortiz here. I thought Gaming actually had probably the top Equibase figures a little bit from my calculation, but again, I just can't get away from the Dolphin, the Medalla de Oro Colt here, East Avenue, Ghost Zapper bred there originally. So just about set here as they walk up to the turf course here at Del Mar.
Yeah, where the where the turf meets the surf, or surf meets the turf. No, turf meets the surf.
I did not sing the song, Mike. I sang it on somebody else's stream.
Oh, you got to sing it for us tonight,
just for
Ramon.
opportunity. So I felt like we were already past the first race. I couldn't sing the
Maybe
song.
right after this race or whatever you want to do. You got to sing it for us.
You got to do it maybe tomorrow. Might have to wait till tomorrow now.
Oh, okay. So you got to tune in for tomorrow. You got to watch Ramon sing. It's like the safety dance. If you want to, it's like something like that. It's like,
it's not quite like that for sure. Going from men without hats. Yeah,
shout out to Nasty Nate correcting me. I'm on mute there, but we have a question from Twisted in the chat. He says, "Never bet on horses. What sports book do you recommend, Ramon?" That's what this is all about, you guys. Appreciate you asking the question. And Ramon, curious, what do you think about how should these guys load up and get ready to bet these horses? Any thoughts, any recommendations?
The one thing about betting the races really is you probably want to participate in these pools, the ones that you're seeing on TV a little bit here and that everybody's talking about. So really you need a sports book that's going to offer you, on the American side, you can get with certain books like FanDuel that offer entry into those mutual pools. So you're betting right into them. If you're going with a sports book, some of them may not have that pari-mutuel offering. Now, many of the books for this type of competition, the World Championships, some of the offshore books will have ways to bet on the race, or they also might offer the odds payout. Now, here's the caution on some of the offshore sports books. They do not guarantee if you hit a bomb. They often have a limit, sometimes 20,000. Maybe your limit could be higher if you have a certain level of membership with them, if you know what I mean. You could get a little higher payout. But a lot of times on some of their exotics, and often you're limited really to maybe superfecta, but they just don't offer the big payouts. You're often limited on some payouts. Some books will even limit you at no more than 200 to 1. So you really want to try to find a book where you can get in these pari-mutuel pools, especially on a day like today. We made fun of you a little bit, Mike. Said, Mike here with these pools, of course, the odds aren't going to change that much with millions of dollars being bet into these pools. And Mike gets all hot and bothered when he says, "Oh my God, look at this harness race. This thing's 99 to 1." And by the time the old El Camino, the gates pull away, it's 2 to 5 because of the small number of half kidding there. But to get involved in these pools and really strike it here, and we're waiting for a bomb, I guess. I don't know if it's going to come today, but we saw the payoffs in the Juvenile Turf Sprint, and you're going to want to make sure you guarantee that payout if you hit the big one. So that's what I say there a little bit. I think Trisha's hit it there. Get what state you're in and go to one of those sites. Look, I think, we talk about TVG, Twin Spires, and some of those horse racing specific companies as well that let you get involved right in the pool. I can't do it here, there a little bit with those books that Mike mentioned there because of being in Las Vegas. But again, those are all, top-notch books there that offer it. Okay, we're just about set to go here as we get ready here. We're loading up here for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and I'll try to not screw this. My boss, the first 2 race calls were a lot better. I kind of love that.
You're crushing it, Ramon. Exactly.
The first
every single race call is not going to be perfect, But yeah, the first couple were absolutely. I mean, every
Yeah.
call is perfect.
Well, don't try to address the co-host in the middle of the race, I think is what. Just stick with the race call, and just try to. Again, all you got to do, all I'm doing is looking at the chicklets and reading the names right
Yeah.
below it. I mean, that's all. But that's what you're supposed to do, right? Here a little bit. So I'll
But
try
you
to
crushed it.
over. Yeah, we're getting ready here.
Let's go. I gifted a
for
membership for everybody, so let's go.
Chancellor McPatrick is last to load here. The 10 horse on the outside. They're all in line, and we're off in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. East Avenue breaks last here. We'll have to make it up from the back.
Wow.
And Getaway Car is up there. Gaming is up there right now. 1, 2, 3, go Baffert off into the first turn, and back there 2.5 back. Chancellor McPatrick is ahead of East Avenue, and East Avenue not looking too sharp here right now, and Shin Believe is going to pass up East Avenue. So along the backstretch, Citizen Bull out there by about a half a length. Gaming is there. Next up is a Getaway Car there, and moving up is Ikoro Azell at 99-1 here fourth. Getaway Car. Now here's Jonathan Way fifth. 4 lengths to go. Ferocious is back there in sixth. East Avenue here trying to find a way right now, and also back there is Chancellor McPatrick, and they're going to go around a horse 47-8-9 in the half, kind of setting up here for a little bit of a run. It's still Citizen Bull at 15-1. The Baffert horses are 1-2 with Gaming in second. That 99-1 shot. Ikoro Azell there. Getaway Car at the rail, and it's going to be these.
Let's go.
Four, looks like here right now. Citizen Bull is there with Gaming as they go together. 1-2 goes Baffert right now. Citizen Bull
Wow.
front, pulling away. He's kicking away. Citizen Bull by 2 lengths.
Wow.
Gaming is second, and Getaway
Incredible.
third.
Oh my goodness. Look at
2,
this.
3 here.
at
Citizen
this.
Bull, Gaming, and coming on
Wow.
late was Hill Road.
Woo! Baffert crushed it.
At 15-1 Baffert.
Did he get the whole trifecta?
Oh, and I fucking kept that one out.
Wow. That
Oh
was
my
something else,
God.
guys. You
Here's the
never
bomb
see
that
that.
everyone was asking for.
Man, that was enough.
That horse ran the course. You can't even pull him up right now. That's it. Amazing. Baffert crushed the exacta.
Though to win in California, you got to beat the Californians, Keith, and this field could not do it. Went 1-2 here, almost swept the
And
board.
I said
there,
Baffert was 1 for 18 at the Breeders' Cup, but he just totally
Yeah.
made up for that now.
Look,
Woo,
Baffert.
1-2.
here.
Let's go, Baffert.
Photo for third. I think Hill Road got up with Rispoli. Getaway Car, I think, probably finished.
Great call on
fourth
that
here.
Getaway
The
Car.
Baffert
Yeah.
was 1, 2,
East Avenue,
4.
very disappointing. Was way back.
I think this is the
East
bomb.
Avenue, bad
I think this
trip.
was the bomb.
Not even a bad trip. Very disappointing. What were you saying, Mike? I mean,
I
yeah.
thought this is the bomb. If it goes 6-7-3, this
Right.
is the bomb.
Oh, this is it. Baffert bomb.
Baffert
15-1
bomb,
over
boys.
6-1. 15-1 over 16-1. So let us know if you had it in the chat.
And then
Wow.
the 3 does,
That was-
it does
that
look
was
like
shocking.
The 3 sneaks him out for the try. The 6,
Yeah, you
7
talked about the
finish
Hill
is going to
Road.
pay 71-1. 6-7 exacta will pay
Woo!
71-1. And then you're going to add in a 61-1 on top of that. Woo!
That's got to be a monster try. Monster.
We have a guest backstage, boys. Part of the
go.
UFC 6. He's dabbling in the horse racing here. Let's bring him on.
Let's go.
What's up, boys?
Fanatical
What's up,
Jim.
boys?
Love it, man. What's up, Jim? How are you?
Doing good. How you doing, Keith?
Nice to thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I mean, it's a huge Breeders' Cup weekend, and we just saw a couple huge 15-6. Yeah, 15-1 over 6-1. So let's go.
Jim, are you a horse bettor? Do you bet the horse races?
I'm about to be. Yeah, guess
I know
what?
he's supporting Razor racing with Razor. Exactly.
Let's go, boys.
Waiting on these prizes. Then we'll get into the next one here, the Juvenile Turf, and see our final race of the card here. But we're still catching our breath here after Bob Baffert scores here at Delmar. Felt like a regular Friday feature race here, Keith, with Baffert dominating here in this one. You could have just kind of put this one off as a middle of the road grade 2 stakes, the way he was coming home 1, 2, 3 there for a minute.
You don't see that with Baffert too, right? In the Breeders' Cup, I was saying it. 18, he was 1 for 18 coming into this. So to have 2 prices get 1-2 is big for Baffert. That's going to be big news.
Thanks to everybody in the chat as well. We got 100 of you watching here, and Fanatical Jim joining us. Thanks, Jim, for coming by and keeping Keith and I company here.
Oh.
We're just about ready to wrap up our coverage for the day, but we're back with 9 races tomorrow. We're going to kind of coincide with the UFC coverage, but still, you can pick and choose or come back and forth. Remember, the race is only 2 minutes long, so try to squeeze us in over here during the card tomorrow. Then we're going to send Keith back over there to join you guys with the UFC coverage tomorrow.
I was already looking at those the late night fights. Exactly.
Hey, Ramon.
So I was capping those late ones. It's a good time.
Ramon, I got a question for you. What was your home racetrack?
Oh, this is it right here. That's why
Delmar is
excited. And once I heard Keith's enthusiasm there, and look at my metrosexual. Can you put that back up there a little bit, Mike?
Oh my God.
What happened?
When you pop the background up there with my face there next to Jim, had my metrosexual look there.
I like it. I like the metrosexual Ramon Scott.
No,
Let's
this
go.
is it, Joe. This is my home track. It spent. There were some seasons where it's a badge of honor to have all 43 parking passes on your dashboard. You just toss it up there and like, hey, I'm a guy who shows up every day, right? The Delmar meet was often contested just over 43 days during the summer for many years. They'd go 6 days a week and take Tuesdays off, but the nature of the sport has changed, especially in California. They have to almost beg horses to come in here to take on the California racers because of the rules, restrictions a little bit as well, and the diminishing cards here. There's really only a few tracks left, and Delmar now runs fall meet that they're able to host this Breeders' Cup. I think the first time they actually ran just a short meet, made sure the track was ready, but they'll come back here next year as well for the Breeders' Cup. It's such an awesome place. You see some of the scenery there as you see the winner being adorned with those flowers and getting his picture taken in the winner's circle. Now here is Citizen Bull at the beautiful race course here in Delmar. And a lot of people in there in the winner's circle. And that'll kind of wrap up the coverage here for that one. Take a look at those prices just popping up there right now. Citizen Bull, $33.80 to win, $13.20 and $9.40. Gaming paid $7.40 and $6. Hill Road, $20.80. Getaway Car was fourth. Ferocious was fifth. The $1 exacta, $71.10. 50-cent trifecta, $1,459. 10-cent superfecta paid $2,032. In the Super High Five, we had a carryover from the last race. Super High Five paid $108,547.65.
Love it.
$1 daily double here with that favorite in there from the last race, $21, and the 50-cent pick 3 paid $57.75. So your prices there after we hit here with Citizen Bull scoring here after East Avenue did not fire. Citizen Bull scores at 15-1 for Bob Baffert, second gaming here for Baffert. But Martin Garcia aboard.
Jeez.
What
Incredible analysis, Ramon. There you go. So yeah, shout out to everybody watching us right now. I mean, incredible. We have over 100 viewers between YouTube and Twitter. So shout out to you guys and let's go. I mean, we got the Breeders' Cup. We got the final race here on Future Star Fridays, but we got a massive card tomorrow. I mean, we got the whole card with the classic and everything with the turf. So let's go.
Yeah, as we get set here for the finale with us, the Juvenile Turf here, $1 million purse coming up, Keith, here in this one. And we've got, Ryan Moore and O'Brien have scored in the last 2 editions here of the Juvenile Turf, and an Irish bred horse has won 3 straight times. Also, as Buick and Appleby scored also in this race once. You do have, certainly some Irish. You're going to have Irish breds here, and I already mentioned at the beginning of the show. I mentioned Andre Matisse. Saw him in impressive form earlier this racing season. Shapes up pretty strong here for this one for the Magnier Talbot group here. They've won those last 2, of course, with Moore and O'Brien, and they are 6 times that. Ownership group, various forms of that group has found the winner's circle here at the Juvenile Turf. So that's what I'm talking about with royalty here. But you certainly have some other interesting contenders here. We'll break it down and talk about them with you and our guests. But I guess for me, I'm certainly going to be just chalky here, it feels like, with Zulu Kingdom also attracting attention here, it feels like, with Pratt and Brown. So I'm going to try to get past. I'm going with Andre Matisse here over Zulu Kingdom, but I'm pretty much, if you don't have an Irish tag by your name there, Keith, Ramon might not be on you this race.
Well, I don't know. I might get the mute button soon, but I'll say that. I'll say this. We're on the same horse. I mean, we're on the same horse, Henry Matisse, the 13. It's a tough post, right? For sure. But, I mean, this horse has been racing against class animals. I mean, face Shadow of Light. That's a horse that has popped up on a couple of the analysis that I've, done here with these horses. So, face Shadow of Light. And as 1-4 of 5 is rolling late and adds blinkers here, I think the blinkers are going to help from the 13 posts. I mean, I know that's a tough post. Hopefully get this horse to focus here, so the blinkers are going to help. Now, the number 7 is the one I'm looking at for second. So that's Seagull's 11. Wow, you're getting a big overlay right now. 25-1 on this horse. So I have 13 as my number 1 pick, but number 7, Seagull's 11. This horse is my top. I mean, he's my second pick, but he's faced a lot of people. He's actually had 7 furlongs. He's faced a lot of people, a lot of horses at 7 furlongs, and then steps up now to 8 furlongs. I think this horse can show speed. And then the number 12, Amari City, has been running against a lot of Open 1 companies. I think that that horse could factor in. Now, the question is, the 12 posts, you can't be wide. So I'm going to be on those horses. Now, one more horse I want to give you is Noble Confessor, the number 3. 28-1 currently. Ran big in the Pilgrim on a yielding turf. But, didn't win. Lost by a nose there. Still a maiden. So that's the thing. Still a maiden. So the bettors are going to say, no way. Still a maiden, but has potential. So the 3 is an underneath play for me as well. And then one more. So I'm so deep in this race. It's disgusting. Is that the number 9, the Waco kid. I think that horse can show speed underneath. So those are my plays I'm going to put in the chat. To me, honestly, guys, while I'm on screen right now, this was the most perplexing race that I had to handicap out of all the Breeder Cup races, all the races, including Saturday.
Great breakdown, Keith, and there's some other contenders in here as well. And a lot of these horses, guys, have kind of faced one another, especially all these mostly these European horses coming in, these Irish breds. They've all kind of faced off against one another here, and you can kind of pinpoint some of those events. Again, I keep pointing back, of course, to the Railway Stakes that Andre Matisse won there. looked impressive there on that straightaway course to pick that big race up. But a lot of these horses have been in against one another. You mentioned, of course, with some of the horses in here, Keith, you mentioned Noble Confessor was up against Zulu Kingdom on that soggy turf course, certainly. And Noble Confessor, let's see, just missed a Zulu Kingdom in that one, I think you said. So Siegel's 11 was in there with Henri Matisse in the National a couple of races back and comes out of the Dewhurst at Newmarket where it finished fourth. And Amori City also, I think, lost to a couple of these horses in that race, the Grade 1 National. So, but you do have Buick and Appleby in this one, and they've scored here in this race 3 years ago. Like I said, you pretty much got to have an Irish bred here win this one 3 straight times. Of course, Buick and Appleby scored with Godolphin also several years ago with Line of Duty here. So really 4 out of the last 6 have been Irish bred here in this race, including last year, of course, with Unquestionable and with Moore and O'Brien and the Magnier, Tabor, Smith, Westerberg group here. And I think that's why I pretty much has me on Henri Matisse.
Cool.
All right, Mikey, what do you think here as we get ready for the Juvenile Turf? 24 minutes to post time. And I think, I think we've got you here with maybe a little bit better pricing situation to kind of spread out a little bit, because the favorite here is just 7-2.
I am absolutely bomb hunting. I do like Flavian Pratt. You know, the Pratt Brown barn has been pretty successful for me over the course of this gambling season. But look, I got to add my guy Ty Gaff back in there with a little Pletcher. This is just a name spots for me here. I do like Ironclad, though. I do like his speed figure ratings here. And then, of course, I'm looking at 10 here with a Pletcher Velasquez. That's another barn combo I don't want to miss out on. So, you know, I don't normally go 4 deep in exactas and trifectas, but because of the prices, I think it does warrant that. So I'm comfortable with this here. I've got $12, you know, just $1 exactas, $12 on the exacta, $12 on the try, 3, 5, 6, 10. And Zulu Kingdom. If you're looking to single a spot, I mean, what can you say? He's a shipper from Ireland. You guys already talked about it. 162 starts, 45 first places, 30 second places, 23 thirds. What are you going to say? The only thing I would say about that is Iron Man whatever at 166 has more starts, 31, 23, and 14. Comparable, but weird number. Morning line started at 30-1. It has dipped down to 22-1. Certainly want to get involved in that. Now we're down to 21-1. So I think some people are seeing it the same way here. Got to have a little 6 in the action. That's why I went 4 deep. It's the last one of the night. And I thought, you know what, let me spread it out a little bit. Let me try to take a little whack here. The Waco Kid, nothing against an Irish shipper. They're certainly, if you ever watched an Ireland race, man, they race forever. They're rolling around the track 22 times. So certainly I think as an underdog there at 37-1 has some merit to it, but it's not going to make my card here. 3, 5, 6, 10, boys. See what we can do.
All right, Joe, we brought you on. Hey, I bet on a horse at 5-1. It came in 3:30. What do you got?
I got the 1-5-11 and 11 to win place show.
All right. Again,
you guys, I feel left out. You guys have all this analysis.
Well, I mean,
I spread too much in this race. You know,
I've already said to Keith, you know, when Japan scores, I'll be floored here in this one. Satono Carnival, the 1 here, looked good in that Tokyo debut, but comes out of another race that they won, and you know. Certainly these horses right now are bred for this 1 mile distance. Jim, you looking it over here as we get the horses about ready to be, they're all getting saddled up, and we're going to have riders up here soon, 20 minutes to post.
Ramon, you just spoiled my pick. Number 1, Satono Carnival. Come on.
Wow,
he gets shipped here. He was 10-1. He's now 9-1. He's at 8-1. The line is dropping very quick on Statistical Carnival. They don't ship Japanese horses here for no reason. The guy's 2 for 2. He won 2 in a row. Now he's here. He's bred for this race. I think he's a good shot, 8-1. And I'm on the 12-2, Amori City. I think the French horse, 10-1. Another horse, I feel like it's bred to win this race. And I know the Ireland horses are very popular in this race, but I have to go Japan and France in this race. So I'm going to go Statistical Carnival to win 8-1 and place, and then Amori City to win a 10-1.
Oh man, you giving horse analysis is the best. This is the best right now. You giving horse analysis is the best.
The man is known for the human flamethrower on the bookies. Why wouldn't it translate to what we're doing over here with horse racing?
Oh man, I'm taking a shot for this. This is awesome.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm so excited, man. I'm going to take a shot as well. I love you guys hanging out with us.
Cool.
Cheers to you guys on screen that have been doing it. Ramon, Keith, you guys are fantastic hosts, and I love it, man. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So cheers to you guys, man. Cheers.
Cheers to everybody on screen. Thank you, Mike. Cheers.
All right, well, we're toasting here. We'll cover, this is a big field, so we're going to have a lot of contenders to cover. And I think, if anything, we had the prices there in that first one. We had the prices here. But, see these guys ready to come in here. And look, big move on that one horse, Japan Invader here, 20-1 morning line, and now down to 9-1. So we got some prices I think we can work with here today. Dream On is number 2, coming in from Woodbine, finished 3rd in the summer race. And also,
we talk about these Cassie horses, Ramon.
Yep.
Exactly.
With
a lot of in the money finishes. Horse is logical, and the bettors see that too. 12-1 from 20-1 morning line.
I think also some of the best Equibase numbers here came in on Dream On here in this one. So for Cassie, Jose Ortiz aboard here. Noble Confessor, as we mentioned, with Tyler G aboard here. Still a maiden, you mentioned it. Another Irish bred here is number 4, Alcudra. 5-1 here right now with James Doyle aboard for Charles Appleby. It's another Godolphin horse here coming in. Also ran in the summer stakes there at Woodbine. Finished 2nd to New Century in this one, and got good buyer numbers there. There's Zulu Kingdom at 7-2. Ironman Cal 22-1, as you guys mentioned here from the Keeneland sale, won the Zuma Beach at Santa Anita. Did get beneficiary of I believe a disqualification in that one, a replacement there in that one. So 2 for 2, but stepping up, of course, in class here. Seagulls 11, another Irish bred here with, you mentioned, Luis Saez aboard for Hugo Palmer for Seagulls 11. Came out of that Dewhurst race at Newmarket, finished 4th, and was mixing it up with Henri Matisse as well. The Waco Kid, Irish bred as well, with Marquand aboard here. Menti, I don't think has anybody taken a shot here talking about Menti. Won the.
There's also a half sibling of Fierceness, Menti. So this is another horse that, this is like the City of Light that Rapoli had. So let's see what Menti can do. It's the same connections. It's Pletcher and it's Johnny V. So let's see. It's taking money right now. It's going to be interesting. I had to fade. I had to make decisions here. But Menti, I'm kind of rooting on the side for.
Yeah, Menti here has moved to 9-1 off of 15-1 morning line. There's New Century is next. The 11 that we mentioned, of course, certainly had the win there, beating several of these contenders at the summer stakes to turn beat Alcudra, of course, to win that race. Didn't have a great trip, but certainly came on strong in that one, and it set up perfectly for New Century in that one. With Murphy aboard here. There's Amori City, the French bred, 10-1. And Henri Matisse going to have to overcome, looks like here, from the outside post, but you got Moore and O'Brien, like I said. And like I said, this ownership group has been to the winner's circle here many times, 6 times in the last 14 years, I believe, that that group has cashed here in this particular race. So they know what they're doing when they prep their horses here. Trisha's got some comments as well. Charlie Bradshaw in the chat, thank you, has the picks in there as well, going with the 5. Oh, yep, going with, let's see if I have it there. With who do you go with? Zulu Kingdom there, right? There. And Trisha also Zulu Kingdom as well.
I'm trying to fade, but let's go. Exactly.
There's Charlie's pick in the chat as well. So feels like the consensus here is on Zulu Kingdom, if you know what I mean, guys.
I think the Waco kid is going to run a bang race. I think this horse is going to run at least like 3rd or 4th. You watch. You want speed in this kind of race in the 8 furlongs and the mile turf, especially at Del Mar in this big race. So this horse has been working lights out. So I like this horse. I mean, look at this. 37-1 right now, currently, the number 9. Like it at least underneath. Not saying a win candidate, but underneath.
And our man Trans Canada, shout out to Mike. Trans Canada, thank you. Maybe we could have a little rave here. We'll bring in some top DJs. We'll bring in
Without due respect, Ramon.
Disco music, I didn't know it was 2004 over again. Exactly.
That's my dude. That's my dude, but fuck him. Shout out
we'll
to
bring in all of my favorites here with Armin van Buren and
Cool.
Paul Oakenfold, Paul Van Dyke. Marcus
Oakenfold. Oh, man. You're speaking my language now.
I'm all about those 2 trance channels on. Everybody has their. Everybody has their handicapping music sometimes, and I got to admit, I put on those trance music channels. It's kind of what keeps me going in the middle of the night.
Keeps the beat, exactly.
Got into it until I got that when Sirius came out, and you started to experiment a little bit. Now I'm all about it.
Oh, we got 2 likes away from a shot time too. Yeah.
Trans Canada has inspired me. That's my dude. I know he likes to break my stones about these flyers, but how about this, Trans Canada? For you, my guy. I hope you catch one of these. There it is, brother. Let's
sports
go.
money.
Shout out to you guys that have all come out and hang out. Man, I'm so excited.
5 memberships.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks to everybody rocking with us tonight.
Does Trans Canada get one? Who gets it? How do we know who gets? Does Trans Canada have
it?
Yep. Random.
Mario Barrios is gifted a Sports Money membership. DR99 grabs a Sports Money membership. Coach God gets a Sports Money membership. Dale Fick grabs a Sports Money membership. And Stunt Blaster gets a Sports Money membership. Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks to all you guys. Thank you, everybody, hanging out with us tonight. I'm just so excited, man. This is awesome.
This is awesome. New content, right? Yeah, it's new horizons. So cheers to you guys.
You guys are doing a terrific job. I'm so excited about the direction things are heading. The new content we're adding, it's fantastic. I can't ask for a better cast, crew, guys committed, cats involved. I love you guys, man. Thanks to everybody rocking here. I'll take a shot for my own gifted 5 memberships. How about that? Cheers to you.
Let's go, Mike. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, we're just getting fired up here, and we're already at race number 5, our final race. But we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the final race.
At what time are we coming in here, Keith? About probably
2:45.
2:45. Is that what's going to cut it here? Right, we're going to be okay. I know we came on at the bottom of the hour today and had 15 minutes, so we'll shoot for that.
It's the main platter tomorrow. Exactly, it's the main course. So yeah, shout out to everybody watching us right now. But we still have one more Breeders' Cup race right now. Race 10 at Del Mar. It's going to be 11 minutes to post, so let us know who you like.
In the Breeders' Cup.
Go ahead.
Breeders'
back
Cup
and enjoy.
are making their way out right now onto the track. 11 minutes to go before post time. We're getting a post parade.
I love we got Fanatical Jim involved in some horse racing here. How about
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I was like, I'm taking a shot, but just because Fanatical Jim's doing horse analysis, that's amazing.
That's right. I got one more for you. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put that one in the chat.
I had to
you,
cap
whatever.
the final 4 nights for tomorrow night. That's amazing.
I'll tell you, Fanatical Jim doesn't F around too. He's if he's going to give you some plays, he's ready to roll. Look, he's got an Evangeline race number 5.
Maybe I'm calling the wrong. Maybe I should be down there hanging out with Fanatical Jim at Evangeline Downs. Ils sont partis.
Oh yeah, you're hanging out there.
In the wrong race here, and I got to go work on my French here, especially with a French horse here in this one. Thank you to Trisha as well.
Oh yeah, shout out to Trisha M for the gifted membership, $10.
Shout out, Trisha.
I am actually gonna do a shot for that. So shout out to you, Trisha, for the dono. Cheers.
Thanks, Trisha.
Iron Man Cow, little restless here. Seagulls 11 doesn't have a pony, I don't think. Here,
I have to bet Evangeline.
I heard a lot of people like this Mate, the Rapoli horse here.
Oh God!
Now Thoroughgraph that I love this horse a lot. They're like use this horse with price horses underneath Mate, but I didn't use it at all. So if you like, I love Thoroughgraph, but I did not agree with that analysis. But you never know; it could be right.
Man, I love you guys. This is so exciting. I'm so
Mate
excited.
could be live.
You don't even know. You don't even know. I got a smile. I woke up with a smile on my face. I got a smile on my face. I can't wait for tomorrow. I love it.
Let's see
you
how
guys
many
are
likes.
great.
Yeah.
Shout out to all you guys
Mike.
in the chat watching, hanging out with us. Maybe you're new to the horse racing game here, and that's what this is about. Just help you guys acclimate to this thing here. It's a lot of fun. There's some big spots to get involved with, and we got some great guys to help you do just that. So enjoy. I'm enjoying.
Yeah, we'll see a different class of horse here tomorrow. Certainly, these are the future stars, like they say, with the 2-year-olds here. For those just joining us, don't know all about what's going on here with World Thoroughbred World Championships here, the Breeders' Cup. But today, really, all 2-year-olds. These are all just getting out there. We kind of joke a little bit, but the breeding has really made the class here. They're not really that immature, if you will, with their schooling and everything. But again, these are the young horses here just beginning their careers. But again, with the Breeders' Cup, what you get is just supreme breeding, and that's why they end up here. Like I said, it feels almost like an exclusive club a little bit, and you rarely get those tales that you hear a little bit. Mike Tirico has a tougher time finding the storylines here with some of these established breeding groups and barns here a little bit, Keith, because of the nature of the Breeders' Cup. Maybe tomorrow with some of the older horses to get a little bit more into that, maybe that line of thinking here. But getting ready for our final race here, just 7 minutes to go before post time here in our final race of the day, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf here at Delmar.
Yeah, it's amazing here on Sports Money Network. So shout out to everybody that made this happen, behind the scenes. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for the support. So let's go.
Shout out again to Trisha M. Says, great job by Ramon and Keith. Much enjoyed this evening. It's awesome, man.
Taking one more
awesome.
shot for
Thank
that.
You guys.
There you go.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'll take another shot.
Yeah, hell yeah. Here we go.
128 of you in here. We wish we had you here from the beginning. We had some excitement, but glad you're here for the final race of the day. And again, we'll do it again tomorrow with 9 races, coinciding a little bit with our UFC coverage with Tim, with Joe, with Mike. Keith will head over there as well. We'll have Sub in there as well tomorrow, and Jeff. So be exciting here. Action from Edmonton tomorrow with the UFC card as well. I'll probably just hang out in the chat in that one with all the college football, and I'll be beat here. We'll send Keith over there with you, Mike, to get more punishment, but I'll probably just watch after the long day. But it's going to be
Right.
awesome day of sports. Not to mention the college football and the like. So be a fun.
Ramon, I only want you to send him over if he's drunken and beat up. I mean, if he's won a bunch of
That's probably going to be the case. Exactly.
Hopefully, it's a few winners here.
I'm only capping the last 4 fights. Exactly. It's a lot less work for me for the fights.
That's good. Keith has been on fire in the UFC, so we're.
I'm 7. Yeah, I was 6, 7, and 7. That's my last 3. So I've won 6, 7, 7 in my last 3 wins on my plays here on the stream. So let's go.
Yeah, I'll certainly borrow the big event, my man, the King of Tijuana, Brandon Moreno, number 2 contender up against Amir Albazi, number 3 contender flyweights. They were to meet in Mexico, but that wasn't the case. Albazi had that neck injury, so we'll see how it goes, guys. Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to what you guys have to say, and of course, don't forget our coverage with First Strike. The guys had their show this week previewing 4 of the bouts here, and man, what a card with Moreno and Albazi, and also Namajunas and Blanchfield. I don't know, you guys. If you think it's going to be star-studded, a few other fights caught my eye in there tomorrow, but make sure you check out our coverage, live coverage, betting coverage of UFC in Edmonton, Alberta tomorrow.
Ramon, I almost think we need to have you call the fights play-by-play. I mean, God damn, you're
I don't know all the
absolutely killing it.
I mean, I don't know all the holds and everything, even though I have been around from the beginning. We used to rent those videos from Blockbuster for the first. We kind of got involved in the UFC around like UFC 8 or 9 or something, and we're like, wow, there was a other. Remember, they used to have like a bracket, and then you'd have guys fighting 3 or 4 times a night to advance to the final round. You have Hoist Gracie wearing his gi in there up against some big guy. It was a little different. Back, I don't know, 30 years ago, it feels like now. But I'm watching. You just see me in the chat in there, and
I know
this is enough excitement for me here. Hopefully, I don't screw up the next one, but we're just 3 minutes away from post time, and right now you still have favorite here, Zulu Kingdom 7-2 right now, and here's New Century now 9-2, also with Henri Matisse here. So I'd say New Century here, although 5-2 on the morning line does seem to be coming back to those odds here now. It feels like a little bit of late money on New Century here. Menti 10-1, Amori City 10-1, El Kudra 5-1, and Satono Carnival 10-1. This one does feel a little bit like maybe something could bust here. We need a big win. We need a big score here tonight from the crew.
I'll tell you what. If you want a bomb tonight, look at the number 9, the Waco kid. I think that this horse is going to be at least 2nd or 3rd. Mark my words right now. It's going to happen. Because it's speed from European. This horse breaks very well from the gate. That's what you need. So I'm looking at the number 9, the underneath play. So let's go.
Silent Rob, wondering if we can get the picks out there. I know who I like in the races tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what?
Pick sticks and everything, Mike. What'd you say? What do you say there?
Well, I was going to say maybe we can do something backstage for the members. Maybe we can try to figure out a way to put those out there early for you guys. We'll work on it. We'll talk about it backstage. Great suggestion, Silent Rob. You're a man of the people, and that's a great suggestion. We'll talk about it. We'll figure something out for you guys. We love you guys, man. Thanks. This has been such a fun night. I'm so excited.
It's fun.
I'm particularly excited to pick up a 2,500 to 1 fucking trifecta here on this final.
Oh,
Let's
here
see.
we go.
Let's see what happens.
2-year-olds loading in here. There's the
Shit.
Shout out to Gerardo Hernandez. He's coming in. His exacta.
Here we
He's
go.
got the 2:11:13. He's a late entrant, but we love Gerardo Hernandez as well. Thank you, guys. Thanks to everybody sharing their place. This is a big one. Let's see what happens.
loading nicely here.
That's it.
Moments away.
I'm on 11, baby.
3, 5, 6, 10. And if they want to go in that order, I'm okay with it.
1, 5, 11. That's what I got. Come on. Good luck.
Get him in
boys.
the gate.
Here. Waco
Let's
kids
roll.
here. He might take to this soft ground here for sure. Waco
I
kids.
think he's underneath play, at least.
There's Mentee.
So I used my Waco kid.
Mentee there a little bit.
3 does not want to
Gizmo
go
says,
in.
look at the 13 here. Down to 9-2 now again with New Century. Amori City and Andre Matisse, the last 2 to load.
Yeah, the 12 is my top pick. So 10 to 1, the 12 Amari City. Cheers to everybody.
Iron Man Cal goes in as well last. They loaded him up here last here.
Keith, your 12 doesn't
Andre
fit into my
Matisse.
exacta or my
Going to
track.
be loaded up, and we're just about set. They're all in.
This race is insane, Mike. Cheers.
Come on,
Here we
we're
go.
gonna get
We're
the
about to
vote.
break.
Let's go. Ramon's going to give it to us. Let's go.
Oh, we have a horse
we have
loose.
yeah, and look
Oh,
at
it was my horse. My horse got loose.
I think well under control. Well under control. Amori City has broken through the gate, but it looks well under
fuck.
control and can return to
I never
the
F.
gate here.
I'm
No
gonna do a
one's
shot
being
right now.
unloaded at this
I'll
point.
do a shot.
We're going to have a
I need a
delay
drink.
here at the start. No one's been unloaded just yet. We might be able to get a handle here on the
I'm not gonna cancel. this.
12 here. Amori City, William Buick the jockey. And they've quickly corralled and has a pony leading him back here.
I
to
don't
the
like
gate.
seeing that
I
at
don't think
all.
they're going to unload anybody here. Just going to bring him back and put him back
He
in.
looks good. He looks good. I like this horse.
The enthusiasm of,
Now he's getting extra warm out. Yeah. I mean, give me a break. This sucks.
Trisha wants to scratch the 12, I think.
I mean, I don't blame you.
They're going to lead it through the front of the gate here, I believe. Nope, they're going to go around the back. They're going to go through the 14 stall here.
We'll walk him around a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks okay.
8 is closed there in the front of that stall. Going to move back into line.
Get him in.
Let's
They're
go.
all in the gate.
Hell yeah.
And they're off.
Yeah. We go.
In the Breeders' Cup
Oh, God.
Juvenile Turf, and there goes Zulu Kingdom out for the early lead. Dream On there in second. Mentee third on the outside. There's Satono Carnival, Iron Man Cal, Seagulls 11 here going into that first turn. It's going to be Dream On leading the way there. Zulu Kingdom in second. Moving up now is T, and followed by Al Kudra there. Fifth is currently Zulu Kingdom. They went 22-6 in the opening quarter, and leading the way here is Dream On, currently in front at 15-1, followed by Mentee with Johnny V on board. Here comes the Zulu Kingdom moving up on the outside. Now we're seeing a nice run here by Satono Carnival along the inside. Moves
Come on,
up
Satono.
third
Let's go.
place. Seagulls 11's back there, falling back here. Here comes a little bit of run now from Mentee, moving up on the outside here
Oh, my
into
punch!
third, and here comes also right now Satono
Come on,
Carnival.
Sotono. Let's go.
Inside, but it's still Dream On leading the way. Dream On is starting to
Come
pull
on,
away
one.
here,
Come on,
leads
five.
by a
Come on,
length.
11.
But here comes a run here right now. Coming up
Here we
on the
go.
outside, Zulu Kingdom, Iron Man Cal. Iron Man Cal's flying on the outside. Here comes Matisse right now. Andre Matisse. Andre Matisse is going to take the lead, and Andre Matisse is going to hold up Iron Man Cal in second.
Matisse wins.
Aboard.
Wow, Matisse.
Also, third was going to be I think we've got, oh man, you guys help me there. Amori City got third, but Andre Matisse, 7-2, gonna win it here
Much
for
the best.
Brian Moore, and Aiden O'Brien does win as a favorite here. I went 3 for 5 here, guys, but Andre Matisse wins it here. Really impressive down the stretch to win here the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
You crushed it. You crushed it, Ramon. Matisse had the setup. It didn't matter. The 13 posts didn't matter.
Just
and they
enjoyed
couldn't
that
even
trip
pull up
along
the
the
Schwartz at the
outside,
end.
did Andre Matisse. Wow. I'll tell you what, man.
And went
Iron
over
Man
the
Cal
favorite,
was
too.
really-
Yep.
Yeah, Iron Man Cal really ran strong there to get second place and was really giving him there.
Damn.
Impressive. I mean, one of the best horses in the world just beat Iron Man Cal by about a neck.
Oh, man. It was that kind of race. I should have just, did that horse with the all exacta. That horse and all. But I hit a 22-1 exacta before. So not bad. Right here on Sports Money Network. So let's go.
Wow, 13. Jeez.
Yeah, Maury City came flying up here. That Aqua, I get that 12 and 9 kind of right now. Remember the 12 used to be a different color, I think,
Right.
a lot of years ago. And I keep seeing when I see that Aqua, the 12 now. But yeah, was the 12 finishing third yesterday. There was a little bit of noise there down the stretch. There was some contact, guys, right now. If you take a look at this here in the stretch a little bit, let me see if you're what feed I'm looking at here, but there is some little bit of contact here, definitely down the stretch. There was an inquiry right now, and it wasn't far from where the winner came from. The winner shouldn't have a problem here because he came from the clouds. But
Literally.
it looks like Siegel's 11 may have drifted out here a little bit, and that's where the inquiry may be coming from here at this point.
Yep. 11.
Yeah. Great race.
Anybody had the 13-6?
Great race. No, nobody had that. Well, all the 12 tried to come up. Amore
Yeah,
City
11
out
and
of
2 are the numbers flashing on the board. The 4th and 5th place finishers here. The 11 New Century and the 2 Dream On is going to be needed to be looked at here. The 4th place finish.
Look, something to be said for the shippers. Irish Horse finishes first. Amare City out of France finishes third. New Century out of Great Britain finishes fourth. 3 of the 4 popped off of there as shippers. I heard you guys talking about that pre-game. Something to be said.
Yeah, this will be the 4th straight win for an Irish bred in this race here, Mike, and 3rd straight here for Ryan Moore and Aiden O'Brien, as they won last year with Unquestionable, and the year before, help me, Victoria Road 2 years ago. So, and then I know Irish, but I'm going to have to look it up now. Irish bred also won in 2021 with William Modern Games for Godolphin. Yeah, I think I mentioned that one. So this one just heavily favors the Irish breds right now, and these guys are focusing in on this event. I think they're not going to make a move here. It doesn't feel like with this 11 and the 2, because it feels like you just were kind of in a bit of a collision course a little bit. And man, you see, almost losing his feet there.
The fuck is going on? Somebody slamming the laundry door shut that won't stick?
Not me.
We'll stay with you here with the coverage. I don't know how long you want to go. We'll look at the prices, certainly, and maybe do a sign-off, unless you want to watch some sports here, Mike. But thank you for allowing Keith and I to bring this coverage to you here for the last, 3 hours or so. It'll make it even longer tomorrow with those big races tomorrow. But we're still in an inquiry here to see if New Century is going to be taken down from his 4th place finish. Could have a little bit of a effect here in the payoffs here, certainly, but not going to affect anything in the top 3.
So they're looking at this stretch run here. You know, I mean, we had a lot of horses collide here. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges think.
Yeah, you can see, I think it's Al Qudra, right, who kind of loses his footing here a little bit, and a little bit of a scary moment for James Doyle, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
You can see there's no room for him to go, really. I mean, yes, sure, maybe coming over, but I have a feeling we're not going to see anything here.
I don't think so either, Ramon.
There is
I don't see much there at all.
Obvious contact, but again, where are you going right now if you're Al
your
Qudra?
horse needs a path. Exactly.
Really. I mean, I see right there the right hand whip, but it really doesn't even come over at all. It looks like he's forced his own problem. Actually, he's the one that ended up splitting the horses apart and causing the ruckus. It feels like to me.
Yeah, it was a bad ride there at that point. I agree. I think there's nothing here to see personally.
Yeah, obviously with the right hand whip there, maybe New Century looks like one who, not mistaken. I can't see the saddle cloths from that angle, but I'm really watching the run of Henri Matisse through all these replays right now.
Right.
He had to take here 8 paths out to the outside here, it looks like, but I think that's where you want to be here at this point on this type of race, especially with the strategy of Henri Matisse here to win. So they certainly
time.
Taking a long time with this one. Not your typical. Hey, you wouldn't have taken this long on an allowance race,
right?
Here, but
when it takes this long, they're considering something else. Exactly. I think actually we'll see. There could be a change here taking that long.
Yeah, they're going to put the 11 to win now.
Whoa.
System play.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're still showing the head on right now. So let me look at it right now.
Holy shit.
Oh, I mean, the horse went over. But did he?
I see some commenters in the chat. Maybe
Yeah.
it feels warranted to talk about this here. There's a lot of horse races, and there's a short period of time. So if you bet an NFL or a college football game, it's going to take you 4 hours, 3.5 hours to realize that value. Just keep in mind, there's a lot of horse races that go off in that 3.5 hour window. So, you got to change the unit just a touch as you go about these things. Unless you have a huge bankroll, then maybe you don't. But it's all fun. What I like most about horse racing is you get an opportunity to course correct, and small investment has big payouts. And I love the speed of which they race these horses. So let's see what we can do tomorrow.
Good point, Mike.
I think I'm going to crack these fuckers right over the skull tomorrow. How about that? I'm ready.
Exactly.
Hey,
You gotta
wanna
wake up with a little, jump in your step. Exactly.
You want to Woodbine Mohawk race 4?
right.
It looks like the
See
exact
what
is going to
you
pay 145 to 1.
Woo, there you go, Joe.
Not
I
me
think
though.
Joe,
the
That's
12
what
is.
I didn't have the 8-9, but
Ah,
It seems like the 12 is scratched in this race. Well, it's going to be scratched.
what?
no. Jim's
Woodbine?
bringing us in.
Yeah, the 12 it's under investigation. I feel like it's going to be scratched.
oh, okay.
Get him
Yeah, I
out.
mean, this is a long race. I mean, this is a
Yeah,
long
this is taking a
inquiry.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of a more
there's two different things going on now. I think he's right.
Looks like
So you got the
I think
11
he
versus the
exceeded.
12, but then there's something else. Let's
Can't
see,
even go back.
11 and 12. Let me see if I can see it.
I think the 12 is going to be. He impeded the 11. I think he's going to be disqualified.
Shout out to Silent Rob. He says,
horses that are
redo.
affected right
Run him
now
again.
are the 7 and the 2, according to the tote board. The top 3 look clear here. I think you might be trolling me a little bit.
Yeah, get the 11 in the third.
This is taking a long
That'd be
time.
awesome. Yeah, incredibly long time.
God damn, I feel like I'm watching UFC with Jim when he says that to me.
Judge
Well, scorecards
Fuckery,
we did, Jim.
exactly.
10-27
fuckery
is
on
the
it.
split.
Well, we
Diamato
get it in
costing-
horse racing too. Yeah, we get the Stewart's fuckery. Exactly.
Yeah, Sal Diamato pulling his horse
Sal
race.
Diamato's on.
It's still blinking on the board. So right now it's 13, 6, 12, 11, 2. But the 11 and 2 are blinking.
Yeah, and it's going to affect also. You can see there were actually 3 horses kind of in the collision there, right? So we only see the 2 horses that are flashing on the board, and there could be that other horse there as well. That was probably 6. I don't know what the actual order of finish was beyond what you're seeing there. So, but I think what you're talking about, inconsequential contact here. So here we go.
I would just leave it.
We get that
Here
right.
we go. Here's the official announcement.
Yep.
Oh, finally. Here we go.
Okay, go ahead, Keith.
Oh, I thought I had it.
No change.
The announcer, no change. Yeah,
No change.
no change.
Dynamite call.
That took a half hour for no change. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is like, oh, there they go. Leave the numbers.
Wow.
Here it is. Leave the numbers. Leave them.
All right, now
11
you can throw your tickets away.
That's how you
I'm
know
gonna
it's
have to do a
it's
shot
$1
for
million.
that one.
That's
That
how
was
you know it's
crazy.
$1 million.
We'll try to get
It's
to
a big
these
race.
prices before we get on out of here. And thanks again, man. Thank you to Mike and thank you to Keith, and also for joining us here at the end of the coverage with Joe and with Jim as well. And looking forward to tomorrow for the coverage here with Keith. And we'll have 9 races tomorrow, of course, starting with the Filly and Mare Sprint, the Turf Sprint, the Distaff, of course, Torpedo Anna, one of the biggest stars, certainly, of the weekend, maybe the more not publicly known horses. Keith, it certainly looks like with the
I'm looking
Torpedo
forward to that.
right? Yeah, and the Turf Classic. We'll see Rebels Romance in there, and then
Yeah.
the Turf. I mean, and then the Classic, of course. How you're going to look at it, of course, with Fierceness. You mentioned Sierra Leone, City of Troy, and Forever Young from Japan, and more races after that with the Filly and Mare Turf, the Sprint, the Mile Turf, and the Dirt Mile. Keith and I and a cast of characters will be here tomorrow to guide through that as part of our coverage and our double stream coverage with that UFC tomorrow, Mike. Going to be a big day here on the Sports Money Network.
Yeah, let's go. I'm looking so forward to it. I mean, that was just the appetizer, right? This 5 race card here, but we have so many more races tomorrow for the Breeders' Cup. So thank you, Joe T and Jim for joining us, and Mike here with Ramon hosting, and and myself. I mean, thank you all you for putting this together on the Sports Money Network and everybody in the chat. Let's go.
We get these prices to you guys right now. We're just getting the prices in for the last race with Henri Matisse, the Irish bred, 980, 620, 540, Ironman Cal, 2140 and 1220, Amori City, 840, New Century was fourth, Dreamon was fifth, $1 exacta, paid 105.40, 50-cent try, $467, 10-cent superfecta, $481. The super high five paid $20,289, and the daily double 6 and 13 paid $75. 50-cent pick 3, $97.95, and did have I'm just going to include the ones from today here, Keith. I believe the pick 4 paid $346, and the pick 5 paid $4,660. We did see some prices here come in. It felt like here on some of these cards. I mean, I picked these 3 favorite. Well, I guess and Henri Matisse wasn't the favorite, although it did go up actually at 7-2. Mentioning in the chat there that was taking money at the end. Don't think he ended up as the overall. Yeah, I think he did actually end up as the overall favorite.
$9 winner.
Yeah, because Zulu Kingdom ended up closing at 4-1. So, well, I had 3 favorites on this card come in. I was chalk all the way, but that's the way I look at it here at the Breeders' Cup 2024 World Championships from Del Mar. So we'll be back tomorrow, Mike. Thanks again. You can get us out of here. I'm going to need a little bit of salt water here in my voice and get ready for 9 races of doing that.
Not just 9 races, but 9 a.m., my guy. 9 a.m., you're rolling. Everybody, I hope you guys do take the time to watch the morning steam. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch with us tonight. Look, we brought a newbie in, but this guy throws gas all over the bookies. Fanatical Jim, tell them what you got going on, my guy. Where can they find you?
Well, I see you, Silent Rob. I'm gonna cap some races tomorrow, and I'm gonna cap some UFC tomorrow. I'm gonna cap everything. At Fanatical Jim. You know, you can catch me tomorrow on this channel. We'll be breaking down some UFC and breaking down some Breeders' Cup. So let's do it. Come on.
It seems like Silent Rob got Jim fired up even more than me trying to get him fired up a couple of weeks ago. But here we go, Joe T. Tell him what you got going on. Where can they find you, brother?
65 hours this week, so I haven't had too much time to be posting any plays. Just I'll be back at it tomorrow. We're gonna be rocking and rolling with the crew. I'll be on with Ramon later and Keith, and then head on over to the stream to the UFC. But yeah, find me over on the community tab and Twitter at Joe_T 2010.
Excellent work tonight, boys. I'm so proud of what you guys have put forward. I believe it got everybody around the horn, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. This is new frontier. I feel like I'm on the Oregon Trail, and I'm moving my way westward. I love you guys, man. Thank you guys on panel for taking the time to look at these battles, what's going to happen, how we're going to get after it. And all the other stuff that goes behind the scenes that a lot of people don't get to appreciate. Thank you guys again. Ramon, Keith,
Thank
you guys
you.
are my brothers. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Fanatical Jim. Shout out to Joe T. And of course, everybody in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully you had some fun tonight. You get to hang out with the boys. We're rocking and rolling. I do want to recognize.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick that I hit a 24-1 exacta tonight. So, I said before, it's only about, we're going to miss a couple of bets, but we're going to hit some. So 24-1 I had tonight exacta. This is only the appetizer for tomorrow. So check into Sports Money Network. Tomorrow, me and Ramon will be on screen with many other guests. Let's go. We're gonna cash a lot of bets.
So much to learn from these guys in the horse game. I'm learning every day. Every time I get involved, and again, I'm so excited these boys are involved with it here. Trisha M gives the $10 dono. She says, "Great job, Ramon and Keith. Much enjoyed
thank you,
this
Trisha.
evening." Shout out to
Take
that.
a shot with you.
We've
Cheers.
got Trisha M, a constant supporter. We love her being part of here, sharing her best bets and everything else. We got Keith gifting memberships multiple. Keith's gifting 2 sports money memberships. Joe T, he's gifting a sports money membership. Razor Sharp Picks gifts a sports money membership, and Grandma Horse Racing gifts a sports money membership. We appreciate you guys helping us build this community. We're just trying to give you guys best bets and new content. And of course, our guy, Carly Bradshaw, top of the kingdom with that 1999 dono tonight. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you all that came out to check us out tonight. We're going to do it again tomorrow. You guys know the deal. Morning starts 9 a.m. The morning steam. We start 2:45 p.m. You're going to see Ramon again. He's back to bring you guys the Breeders' Cup with Keith each every stride. And UFC is going to start at 4:40 p.m. So get yourselves ready. It's a big Saturday with sports money. Where else would you rather be? What you want to follow me on X. You'll see me on a couple early shows. Appreciate everybody rocking with us. All you guys, man. Joe T, obviously my guy, my brother, Ramon Scott, just transforming everything we do. Ramon Scott, Keith, my guy from each every stride coming in, taking a chance with us. Fanatical Jim, I love you, man. Appreciate you rocking on all the shows we do. You guys are fantastic. The panel, the chat. I'm so excited about where we go. And you make sure you tune in tomorrow. We got a full day of program, and we'll see you guys then. Thank you to everybody. Appreciate you.
Thank you.